hi, anybody who has decided to watch this. My name is Alex. I am the DM of this lovely bunch of nerds that you see surrounding me. And we're going to play some Dungeons & Dragons, and hopefully you guys enjoy what you see and hear from us. As a brief little note, we are playing a very, very, very heavily homebrew modified version of the Storm King's Thunder pre-built module. As NPC-wise, the group has collected two lovely individuals that follow them around and heed their every word as law. There's Soup, the orc ranger. He follows them around very very stalwartly and has a divine love for everybody. And then there's Phil. Phil the fighter. He follows around doing, well, sleeping a lot. Really, is all that he does. I forgot a very important step of this. I use he/him pronouns, and both of my characters that I'll be playing consistently use he/him pronouns as well. With that, we're going to jump down the order. Krista, please.
Yeah, my name is Krista. I use they, them, their pronouns. I play Lysander, uses he or they pronouns, and Lysander is a Furbolg paladin of Sylvanas.
Hi, my name is Devin. I play Ivan. Me and Ivan both use he, him pronouns. Ivan is a tiefling warlock, packed to the chain, great old one.
All right. I'm Jay. I play Tempard. Both me and my character use they, them pronouns. And I am a bard from definitely not a pyramid scheme clan.
Hi, I'm Rob. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Anook. He is a Goliath druid from an odd group of Goliaths that are actually islanders instead of mountain Goliaths. Circle of the coast instead of circle of the moon.
Am I next?
Yeah, you're next, buddy.
Oh, okay.
You just had to remember the person before you.
I thought I was after Garagak. I'm so sorry.
I didn't know when I was either.
We're in this together. I'm Ian. Typically not with the picture. I prefer he, him, his pronouns, and my character, Tapartos, is a Furbolg life cleric from a very different Furbolg clan, and yet a follower of Sylvanos, who also uses he, him, his pronouns.
And now it's Coda.
Now it's me?
I'm done.
Okay. I am Dakota. I play Gargak, a half-orc barbarian. I use he, him pronouns. And that's pretty much it. I'm just a barbarian.
The half-orc after our hearts.
Yes.
The only half-orc in our hearts.
It's my first D&D character, so I unfortunately did not make much of a backstory.
Oh, he's a good bean.
Perfect.
I mean, head empty, no thoughts, just love is
That's a very correct D&D character.
My name is Zach. I play the mysteriously unintelligent Tumult who uses he, him pronouns, as do I. I am a male Ergonasi warlock, along with a Death Domain cleric as a multi-class. Currently inhabited by a genie, using the Noble Genie Unearthed Arcana class before they changed it to the new one. So I just have one genie with not as good spells.
Yeah, UA.
Awesome. This is our lovely group of adventurers. As I said, we are doing a very modified homebrew version of Storm King's Thunder, and I don't think you are anticipating as much homebrew as I'm doing to this world. So if you
I don't even know
before,
what's the real campaign right now.
Right.
I don't care.
So anything you hear that you're like, that's not in that book, like that's fine.
I think the only thing that stayed is the map and that there are giants.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that.
We have a map, we have some giants, we have a few key NPCs that stayed, and if it's we're doing this. We're doing this as a fun home game. You guys are jumping in absolutely mid-story, so I will do a full recap and post it as a separate entity. So if you guys want to know the backstory of what you're jumping into, if you are going to try to follow along, that'll be available to you. It'll go over all the major plot points and things that have changed. I'll go over some of the key lore details that I've homebrewed for those of you that do know the story well. And as well, we will be doing like character intros, give you guys a little bit of like background on our characters and what our players are doing. Give you a little bit more of a personality for all the lovely characters that we have made. For now, our heroes have just exited a dungeon and are eagerly awaiting Zephyros, the cloud giants, to come and join them. So, if all of you are ready, let's jump in and play some D&D, shall we?
Can't wait.
I am still just sobbing. Just
As is
like
Tepartos.
clutching shield sobbing.
Tepartos is clutching Tepartos sobbing.
Tepartos!
He's very recently lost Tepartos.
Tepartos, look at the lovely gift Sylvanas gave me. Just like, just crying more.
I love it.
She is so beautiful.
He is a blessing to us all.
Indeed, she is.
He is great.
Yes, she is.
I think the best part of this is, Ian, I'm pretty sure that you said Sylvanas uses he, him pronouns in the intro.
No,
When you were
I said
describing
Tepartos
yourself.
uses
Tepartos
he
uses
Okay.
he and
I
pronouns.
thought you had said Sylvanas.
Completely, undoubtedly. Yes, hers. I will fight you.
Too bad, you're across the country now.
And fight you.
You missed your opportunity to fight Krista.
It's true.
I did.
I could
I
have
left it
came and
yesterday.
been fought. I could have came with to that meandering.
That's
could've-
right. So,
I feel like we probably have to be gently led back down the mountain because Zephyros is
Likely.
slowly approaching over the like.
Anouk has already thrown his hands up in the air and is walking away.
yes,
He and George.
Anouk's ultimate move: throw his hands in the air and walk away.
Yes.
You guys proceed back down this small mountain, heading back to the path leading north out of Westbridge.
Is Hand still there? Is he
Hans
just
still,
floating in the
Hans is
distance?
still chilling. Ivan,
yeah.
would you like to do a brief check-in of what's going on with Hands?
Oh, you can show hands.
Hands.
Oh no.
Oh, are they gone?
How did we get a little freezy?
Oh no.
Sad.
Perfectly timed freeze. They'll be back.
That's a
It's
peak
fine.
freeze for those two.
That is very
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Okay, we
can-
cut out.
There we
Oh,
go.
we're back,
Yay!
We're back.
Hey,
Devin,
There's a
would
dramatic
you,
hands
connection's
reveal.
unstable. Thank you, Zoom.
Devin, would you like to do a brief check-in with Hands?
Yes, so
Oh,
As-
he's so big.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't have a sense of scale. I did draw him correctly sized. That's
We
delightful.
did. We were very impressed.
yes, this is Hands. Hands is my familiar.
Perfect. So you let your senses leave you and take up the sights and sounds that your familiar are taking in. And the first thing as you open your eyes that you see is just this very large face of a very recognizable cloud giant old man standing there going, "Oh, aren't you just the cutest little thing? Oh, you're so adorable.
Oh, that must be so big.
cute." Like, it's like you see a nose and like an eye, like it just, Hands' entire field of vision is just this one like small snippet of a face.
I mean, there might literally be bats up in the cave there.
It's quite possible. But you gather that at the base of this mountain, Zephyros has arrived and is awaiting your communications.
Okay, we should probably get down to Zephyros. We did call him here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start talking through Hands. Hi, bud. How we doing? We had a little bit of a
You can
adventure.
do that?
Yeah, voice the train master. I can talk through it.
I love Warlock.
He's just a little puppet.
Yep.
You start talking through Hands, and Zephyr goes, oh dear, oh,
I hear first that you said, "Hey, bud."
Ivan, you scared me. My friend, how are you? How are you doing?
We had a very interesting little encounter just now. Well, we'll be trying to tell you about it, but I gotta get back to my own body, so I'm gonna leave hands with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. I will take good care of your companion Hands until you arrive.
We'll see you in just a short amount of time. I'm gonna pop back to my own body.
Companion. If you
God
will.
damn it.
Please say they're playing patty cake.
The plan, yes.
Excellent.
Little fingies.
So you guys,
Oh my God.
unless there's anything you would like to do on the travel down the mountain,
Collect myself.
perfect.
Try
Roll,
more?
roll to collect yourself. I guess. I don't-
What is that? Like con? I don't know.
Wisdom probably.
Oh,
Just like a
okay.
wisdom check.
Yeah, I'll go wisdom.
And you guys, as we are new, this is the first time we are recording ourselves or playing in this format. So you guys can use live dice if you would like, instead of having to like open Roll20 or whatever.
That's
just
fair.
to use
I
that.
completely forgot about that. Do you want to go grab them?
Yeah, I was like, do we want Roll20 open for the sake of a dice roller?
I was gonna open it just for the map, like
That's
the world
valid.
map.
I mean it. I
I'm
got
just
it.
using where my character sheet is in the.
Yeah, you guys have your character
Electronic
sheets
dice.
open. You
Yeah.
can use the ones on D&D Beyond.
Oh, I can use my little agender dice for him
That's right.
if I can find them.
Oh, they gave me a free dice too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
If you don't know, this is absolutely an unofficial sponsorship of D&D Beyond. Go check it out. It's super helpful for absolutely everything D&D related that you could possibly need. If you guys want to do crazy stuff like we do.
Oh no, I don't
Um,
want to create an account. I want to sign into mine. We're very organized, I promise.
Yeah, professional AF.
Funny
I
because
don't want my dice.
So we
I want
are-
to change my dice.
To be fair,
Um,
everything's fine until.
Hero, this is an opportunity to use your
Someone-
physical dice. You can do it.
I know, and I have so many, and yet I don't have
Okay.
enough.
Oh, I can't find my agenda one, but I found my little rainbow
Oh, yeah,
dice.
that's
Look
where
at
it
it.
is.
I
Oh
got
my
the same
gosh,
one.
They're very
My
good.
dice are packed.
There we go.
So you can use
Oh,
the
Oh,
digital
cool.
dice.
It's gonna bring in the dice tower and everything.
Yes.
Parker's definitely not gonna knock it over.
mm.
With special guest appearance of cats.
Parker immediately came running up.
Time for dice!
There we go.
Papa, feed me dice, please.
Papa, one dice, please. That's all I've ever wanted was a singular die.
Papa, please, I hunger.
Unless of course you give me that one die, and then I will of course request another die.
So Pardos, did you collect yourself?
Bartos has collected himself. 1 second.
Honestly, I expected it to pan over to your wife sitting on the couch, just like,
Oh no, she's not wearing pants.
it's fair.
We're keeping this G over here.
That's right.
No, we're not. But you know,
We're not.
We're keeping
I-
it PG?
PG.
No,
We'll-
absolutely not. This
no,
has
oh,
to
yeah,
remain our
there's-
content.
13.
There's
I'm
too many.
making
There's
and
too many
cursing.
fucks.
We're
It's
doing
not
this
even
on.
PG-13. If I was limited to saying fuck once per episode, I would implode.
Thank
Uh,
God.
No.
Yeah, fair warning, guys. We are a bunch of people that cuss like sailors and pretty much say what's on our mind. So embrace it.
No, you can't have. You can't.
1 second, I spilled beer on my computer.
Seems like really.
If that's any indication, there.
Yeah.
Do I hear Tepartos trying to compose himself
Everyone hears Tepartos trying to compose himself.
with a big, deep sigh? Oh, hey. I'll turn around, walk back over to Tepartos, put one arm up over his shoulder, and just pull him into a hug as we walk down the mountain. Which he didn't even hear.
Nothing happened?
Nothing.
I know hugged you.
Yeah, Anouk is walking next to you with a giant, like,
A big
as best as he can,
arm.
like reaching up and around.
He's not that much shorter
far
than you.
apart.
I forgot. Tepartos is a tiny Fearbog.
We're also Furbolgs aren't as tall as you and I thought they were.
They're tall enough.
They're like 9
Oh,
feet
so
tall.
is a Nook.
Yeah,
That's
Anook's
true.
like 8 and something.
Anouk
Yes,
is
you've
the
been
next
pulled in.
closest
You've
to
been
us.
pulled into a giant Islander hug.
I happily accept the embrace.
Wonderful. You guys, after collecting oneself, head down this mountain, and you see this very familiar tower built on top of a cloud has landed right dead ass in the middle of the road where you guys had used the coin to summon him.
You are very efficient in your travels.
You
You
see,
said it would
as
take you a while, but you got here quite quickly.
I happened to be nearby, really. Was visiting some family. You know how it goes. So, you have summoned me here. You have used your one singular Zephyros lifeline. What is it that I can do for you?
Evan
Zephyros.
walks up and pulls out the quill and ink. What is this?
Is it the one you got from the Lion Dandy box?
Yeah.
He goes, yes. He takes it from you. You see his eyes flash with that similar, like, rough lightning pattern that he'd gotten when he was casting previously. This appears to be a quill and ink.
Awesome.
It sure is,
Thanks.
isn't it?
The magic there seems to be something that has not been added to any libraries of arcane studies. Is someone experimenting with magic, thus I have no reference point of how to understand what it does.
It is an unknown magics?
Link that.
Unknown to any histories that I have uncovered.
Is it Death Note?
Ivan, please be very careful with that ink.
I'm just curious.
We do not know what it does. Please be careful.
Sorry, we cut out again.
Just
Just
please be careful
recognize-
with that ink. It is unrecognizable magic.
Okay.
Note Tapartos' full name, for do not write it in there, please.
I mean, part.
You know not how many Tapartoses there are within Tapartos.
There are many Tapartai.
many generations of Tapartos.
Did you call me to
Uh,
look at this
No,
quill
no,
and
no,
ink?
no. There is much more here.
We do have many things to discuss. However, it would appear, as far as Tapartos is concerned here, that we have a destination far to the north in mind. We were hoping possibly for safe passage up there, as well as many different things in which we would hope to discuss with you.
Do we want to discuss before traveling to the person that will clearly set us as enemies?
Okay,
That's
fine.
fair.
Maybe we can discuss first and then travel there. Or not travel there at all. We have many things to discuss. Apologies, Zephyros. There is a bit of a... we have many opinions in this group.
We have met your daughter-in-law.
I have no daughter-in-law. That is impossible. I have no children.
Tepartos?
You know not of the hill giant named Moog?
I believe I've met her once a long while ago.
Did we
Thanks.
Did you get the name of Mook's spouse?
Oh, fuck. Did I? Where are my notes?
Tapartos, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Okay. I would
Can I
absolutely like to
also
do that.
roll it?
This is specifically from Tapartos' interaction with Moog. And
Well,
his-
no.
fuck it. You know what? No, I will not crit fail on this right now. I am inspiration on this.
Wow.
Give me my nat 20.
DM inspirations work
Give me-
differently than in normal
give
D&D.
me-
Fine.
I will explain that in the intro video as part of the things that I've homebrewed.
Used to critical fail.
Wonderful. You remember that Moog, when she was telling you about her husband and everything that had gone on with them trying to unite the giants as a peaceful entity, said that Zephyros had his mind wiped.
Oh.
That he didn't remember his son because they destroyed the book that contained those memories. Which is a key piece of information that you forgot before this conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, we went here without the perception of that, nor that anywhere in my notes. So that really throws a monkey wrench in all of this here. Zephyros
Yes.
and everybody else here. I have a bit of a bombshell for you.
Did we summon him for nothing?
Not for nothing, but something tells me we may want to look a little bit deeper into his studies, for there may have been a key piece of information for Partos forgot about. That is the only thing that is keeping you trusting him, which is that Zephyros has no memories of the most important thing that is what we brought him here for.
Zephyros has no memories to confirm of this thing that we
No,
brought him
no,
here to
Zephyros
confirm
has-
about.
Exactly.
I have many memories. They're in the books.
But not of this, Zephyros, may I tell you that? That would have been
Right.
really great to know last session, Alex.
You should have asked the question last session, Ian.
Or you should have kept better notes, Ian.
There's the real hit. for all of you out there, the 6 people that'll watch this video, keep notes from your DMs. They drop them little
Better
insights
notes from
in.
your DMs.
If you don't write down everything your DM says, like
You're a human.
in tandem, then yeah, you're a normal D&D player. But that's when you get to do stuff like this as a DM.
God damn it.
So you say you have no memory of this. And he's like, oh, it's impossible. I write down everything in my journals. That's how
Do
I
you
remember
not
everything.
have
Wait.
memories outside of your journals?
No, dear God, no.
Wait, what do you mean you don't have memories outside of your journals?
That does not
Everything
help.
I've ever experienced is written down in the books, and the books transfer to my mind, and the books hold all of my memories. Should this library be destroyed, I would be turned to nothing.
Do you not have any gaps in your books? Yeah, like, from day to day.
So many gaps. So many gaps.
That's
Is
not a
this
good
going
thing.
in the books?
This is incredibly problematic.
I guess this is being transcribed as we speak.
Oh, wonderful. Cool. Okay.
What writes in your books?
Oh, I have a magical quill and ink.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
It's upstairs.
But you were saying that if, for any chance, a book of yours may have been destroyed or wiped, shall we say,
I would have zero recollection of ever owning the book in the first
and
place.
there is no fail-safe in place for this.
No.
I
None.
mean, there is one
You, as an
thing.
all-powerful,
There is one thing.
Yes.
I guess there's a few things.
Oh, thank God.
One, I have noticed, because I keep them all in a chronological order,
As you do.
right? It makes sense when you're keeping track of memories and such.
Yes.
There are some volumes that are no longer there. You know, it goes from 1 to 2 to 5 to 17 to et cetera, et cetera. I'm not missing that many. It was just an
That
example.
is quite the big gap, I was about to say.
No, it's just an example, really.
The entire
but-
childhood gone.
Who was I as a child?
Goodbye, adolescence.
What were my defining qualities that I redeemed from my childhood?
That's trauma.
You heard it here first.
Anyway.
But there's a few things that would stop me. Should a book be destroyed, it would be gone. Only extremely powerful magics would be able to return it. Ones that I am not capable of.
That maybe an ink would be capable of?
I have no idea.
If we write in your books, do you get those memories?
I do.
Can we see those books? Just for curiosity.
I am now extremely suspicious of why you would want to see them.
I was just very curious.
Sort of like a story, you know, I've got my...
I just want to write in there that
Storyteller.
you had a good day. That way you can remember having a great day.
It's already written down that I'm having a great day.
Oh, well, that's so sweet. Thank you.
That's a great day.
So
Definitely the
but-
only reason.
bring you here because the Partos thought you would have much knowledge of the things that we were going to ask you for, but he is apparently wrong.
Well,
There's one other thing. Should my books leave the primaterial plane and any other substantiated plane, you know, the plane of fire, the plane of water, the 9 hells, the abyss, if they were taken to a demi-planar area, I would then be able to not remember those things in that book, but the book would still be there.
so if perchance there was an incredibly important book with incredibly important memories in them that you no longer have, that was not necessarily destroyed but taken to another plane, you would not have those memories, but the book would still be in existence. Whereas if we retrieved the book, the memories would come back to you. Yes, that is the thought process that we are going along here.
100% correct.
Wow, how
Bartos,
incredibly spoon-fed.
We used our one means of calling Zephyros here.
That's true. That's a one and done. You're out.
It is true.
It's over.
The Partos does believe that there is still we can learn from you, Zephyros, and perchance something within your vast library and collection of knowledge that we may be able to achieve some semblance of gratification.
Well, what are you searching for?
Well, we are dealing with... I'm sorry, this kid is so cute. We are we are dealing with a bit of an impasse.
A giant
Ah.
problem, if you will.
A
Yes.
giant problem, yes.
Um,
I've had many
absolutely.
giant problems.
Yes, indeed.
In fact,
Um,
every problem I've ever had was a giant problem.
seeing as you are a giant, I can only imagine how that could be nothing but the truth.
That's the bit. That's
We
the
have
entire
understood
joke.
the joke. Hey, I touch my tiny nose and point towards his much larger nose.
He does the same, and he taps you on the forehead, but his finger is twice the size of your face.
Oh wow, that is catastrophic.
You're dead now. You died again. Congrats.
Oh great. Well, bye. Okay.
Do I have to use my Revivify shield already? God damn it!
At least I'm not dust this time. Zephyros, I must be honest with you. I have spoken with a giant, with a hill giant, who has told me of many things. Many that, now that we are speaking together, seem even more concerning. Either from their perspective, your perspective, either way, very problematic. That you had a son, and that son was bound to usurp the entire concept of the ordering, of the giants, of everything that is being put in place that is causing these massive problems and rifts within the entire Sword Coast right now. This son of yours was someone that chose and desired to unite the giant clans, to not decide on this caste system, to not decide on oppression and fear and bloodshed the way that so many monstrous races are doing so right now. And from what I was told from Moog, from this woman who told me that she was, and I believe in all good consciousness, was your daughter-in-law, I was told that he was succeeding, and that the human clan, the human organization, this organization that has, as we have told you, has given us an ultimatum of wiping out you, your kind, and all kind like you. They are the ones who ended his life, and now that I am stupidly remembering now, destroyed one of your books with all memory of him. So the Partos understands there's very little reason to trust him right now, but if there is anything we can do or think of to get back some semblance of this memory of yours, or some plane we can go to that this may have been taken to, specifically tied to Xerxes, or any information you may have on Xerxes and their plans, their desires, how they go forward with what they want here. If you can provide us with any of that, that will be incredibly helpful with us and in our journey as you have called us the chosen ones. You are an incredibly integral part in us deciding who we are, what we do, and what this world becomes. I beg of you, please guide us.
I am not a mystical fortune teller. I don't see the future. I don't know which path you will take.
That is true, but you have knowledge, you have information, you have the past, and the past shall inform the present here.
But my knowledge is not, it's not a catalog of these are the locations I've visited. This is not, everything I have on this specific group or person. It's memories. It's all written down as it happens. So unless you have a specific question in mind, I don't know that I will have a memory pertaining to it.
Do you know of the group called Xerxes?
Of course, yes. We've discussed them briefly the first time we interacted.
But you do not know very much, correct?
I know of them. I know that they have a tendency to show up whenever bad things happen, whenever world-changing things happen.
And this is a world-changing thing.
I might remember, you have to keep in mind, I have 1,000 or more years of knowledge in my mind. It will, to spark certain memories, unless you are planning on pouring through every journal that I have, which would take you years to do, then the more specific the question you ask can be, the more I will have a chance of answering it accurately.
Bartos, do you know the name of the giant we were supposed to see up in the mountain? Or the person that Nabon has sent us to up in the mountains? Do you know of Nabon? The dragon who lives near here?
Old Nabons. She had the name.
Clomiliotter.
There it is.
Yes, the ancient green dragon lives in the forest outside of Westbridge.
Yes, her.
Yes.
A dream dragon? What do you mean of dream dragon?
Green.
Oh, I
the
thought you
color.
said dream.
The
That was
Partos also her dream.
Yes, the ancient dream dragon.
much more concerning because I have
That's-
never heard of a dream dragon before.
Absolutely more terrifying. Yes.
There's the whole prospect that she was not real, and that was an entire wrench in our plan.
At this
What-
point,
there's a concept
totally
that
feasible.
there's a concept that none of us are real. Really, I'm used to saying.
Zephyros
We could all be-
a philosophical
We could all be characters in some game that people are playing outside of our control.
God damn it, Zephyros.
Alexander.
That's that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it be like that.
It do.
All right.
It
Well,
really-
what
really
about
do
a
be.
gap in your knowledge around when the ordering fell apart?
Ah, the ordering falling apart. That was tragic. I
Yes. Do you know dates
I
about
know.
that? And anywhere you might not have something on that? That may be a place to start.
I remember the ordering falling apart.
Yes.
I remember the chieftains trying to gather power
Yes.
to take the place at the top of the new ordering.
The
Who was-
particular cloud giant chieftain? Anything about him or a
Who was at
person
the top
hill
of the
giants?
ordering before?
The storm giants.
Yes.
And how did they fall?
They displeased the giant god.
Who's the giant god?
They refer to him as the all god.
The old
They-
father.
Not the all father. There's an entire separate group of people from all of the northern continents that worship someone called the all father.
Oh, well, the Partos does not know.
Yes, well, you should study up on your religions across the Primaterial, friend.
The Partos is working on it. He is ever a student.
You should do more studying.
He has been a bit distracted as of late.
Yes, well, you should not focus so much on this.
Oh, well, okay.
Sorry, what was the storm giant god? My brain just went all father, and now I'm stuck.
Anan, I have lied to you. His name was Anan the All-Father.
You just told the Partos!
I understand. I've looked at the book wrong.
His name is Anon? Like the group?
Anan.
Okay, I was like,
Anan.
Anan.
Like, yes, anonymous, the god.
the all father of the
There's a
storm
god.
giants. What's-
Anyway,
Anon is all of us. We are all.
We're Anon the all father,
we
the
are-
all anonymous. So
Wouldn't that be a trip?
Indeedy do.
how did they displease Anon? What happened?
I'm a little bit fuzzy on what exactly they did to displease him, but
Almost as if
something
it is-
happened. I want to say it was some sort of power struggle. The chief of the storm giants wanted more power than just being in control of all of the giant tribes. So Anon stripped the ordering. The ordering is not just some verbal contract. It is not just an obligation from giant tribe to work under one uniform leader. This is a divine state of being. Whoever leads the ordering is truly the most powerful giant in all creation. They lead because others fear them, because they know that no one could stand in their way.
And has there ever been a giant that hasn't tried to lead this by fear, but by something else? Was there any conflict within that hierarchical structure that you can remember? Or is that also a place where your memory begins to get foggy?
I don't remember anyone doing it specifically, but there have been families of giants that have branched out and tried to make peace. My family line in particular, I am only half cloud giant.
What's the other half?
Not even half, really. My lineage is diverse. My entire family tree is built off of giants and non-giants mating.
So you are not full giant?
No, dear, no.
Do you have any memory of us a spouse you may have had? Anyone you had a fling with? Anyone in your life such as that?
I've had many various romantic interactions.
Are they hot?
All of them. Every one. Dime pieces, the lot of them.
What is this dime?
It sounds like it is
see
made into
pictures
many
of that?
pieces.
The real...
Was there anyone you know that you had spent your life with for a chunk of time that you may have settled down? Because if that was before you had a family, you may have had memories of them before then.
Single person with whom you may have made an heir.
Oh, as I've said before, I have no children. I've never taken a wife.
Indeed, but somebody who that may have been the case?
Not that I can think of, no.
Not one person.
Tempart's question still stands. Can we see some of the people like that you had?
I've lived for thousands of years, my child. They're all dead
Pictures?
at the very least.
Okay, but like pictures?
What is a picture?
Or like a painting?
I have a painting of it's not of one of my partners, but I do have a painting you could see.
Of who?
Of my great several greats past grandfather.
We should probably continue to have this conversation if you're in your tower if we are allowed to. We are kind of in the middle of the road right now.
We are! Sure, come in.
Thank you kindly.
I was trying to see, because like if we could possibly see if any of them look like Moog.
Yeah. Well, Moog was married in. Moog is not his child.
That's true.
No.
I hope none of them
As
look
far
like
as we
Moog.
know, Moog has no children.
That is a good point, actually. You're right.
If it was like, it's this person I don't recognize, that would be a good clue.
Excuse
Yes,
me,
hero?
Zephyros.
Yes, sir.
Last time we met, I don't think I had my friend here. Can George come in, maybe play with the griffins? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
of
would be
course,
some
of
good
course.
times, yeah?
Of course, yes, of course. He leads you in, and he has George. He leads George onto the center platform and the like elevator that he uses to travel his tower. And he up you go.
Oh, I ride with him.
Okay. You're
Because
just out.
as a good, friend of pets and stuff, I don't want him to meet new pets that, might eat him.
You gotta do the like
and
introduction through the door and then the
Exactly,
baby
no.
gate.
I got to hold on to his collar in case, he gets a little aggressive. I mean, he is a big puppy.
Does George have a collar?
Yes.
Just like
It's
a
canon
braided
now.
hemp collar. I love that.
There,
Now,
it's done. It's canon now.
it's more a flowery lay.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it.
Just a shark boy in a little lay. I love him. We were
And
speaking.
So for those that don't know, George is a Bulette that we picked up. He's a baby Bulette that I've made friends with, and we're pals. We're best buddies.
Pronunciation undetermined. Nobody knows actually how to say that word.
Well, I'm sure
Billet.
Chris
Jeremy
Perkins,
Crawford or Perkins,
Billabong.
right?
Chris Perkins, Jeremy Crawford, any other high-level D&D expert. When
Get in
you
the
inevitably
comments.
watch this video, to
Right.
quote one of the best people in the universe, Brendan Lee Mulligan, get in the comments. Tell us how the fuck to say the word belay. Nobody knows. It's a
So
mystery.
you remember the ordering falling apart, but you do not know any contenders that were preparing to step up potentially.
Many. You've from what I understand, you've heard the name of one, Chief Ga.
Chief Ga.
Is
Have
the
you-
current one vying for the power? It seems.
Yes.
Chief Ga is the chieftain that murdered Moog's husband, Zephyros' supposed son. Chief Ga is supposedly the one who, with the help of Xerxes, wiped your memories and usurped the throne that your son was supposed to be.
Go was working with Xerxes?
That is what the Partos has been told.
I thought
Whether or
Xerxes
not-
was working on their own in spite of what the giants were doing to turn things over.
As
You
far
would
as-
know Xerxes' entire plan is to help the violent retaking of the ordning. they want the ordning to be reformed in a violent manner. So it would track with what your current knowledge of Xerxes is, that they would want that to happen. So they would help in this regard.
As far as Tepartos is concerned, and as far as Moog has told Tepartos, Ga murdered Moog's husband in the way that Ga was able to attain power in the Hill Giants as the chief of the Hill Giants. And mind you, there is the hill, the stone, the frost, the fire, the cloud, and the storm. Top of the Hill Giants in this ordering, in this violent crusade that everybody is waging against each other, Ga and her husband were starting to unite the clans. Moog and her husband were starting to unite the clans. Ga murdered her husband, cut out her tongue, and caused her to not be able to speak. This has all been written down, by the way. That is how Tepartos has. It was not all the miming in the shows and the whatnot. No, it was the writing. Moog is quite the elegant writer. We did not sleep together. Anyway,
Funny.
you be quiet, Tempart.
She was hot. I don't know.
This is, and again, Tepartos only has the people he believes and the words that has been given to him, but he truly does believe that this coup was staged, and it was deliberate, and it was intentional. If we can uncover it, this will be a huge shot to their power, and hopefully if we are able to put those that wish for this peace, not infighting, not bloodshed, not genocide, in power, we can stop whatever is about to happen to this entire Sword Coast. Tepartos understands he is asking you to, everyone, to go off of straws and hunches and word of mouth. But this is, at this point, especially with Tepartos apologizes, with Zephyros' memory hampered, Tepartos understands this is all we have until we can find something else to latch onto. But Tepartos truly does believe we can find something.
It strikes me as odd.
Yes?
You claim that Chieftain Ga claimed power by killing my supposed son.
Correct.
Yes. And cutting out the tongue of your supposed daughter-in-law and exiling her from the Hill Giant clan.
According to my memories, Chieftain Ga took power by birthright.
Moog was the rightful ruler of the clan by birth or by marriage.
As far as we were concerned, and as far as Tepartos has been told.
Can you show us the book that this memory is in?
Yes, of course. He walks over and starts walking around this. And again, you guys have seen this before, but this large tower, the entire interior of it, of this ground floor and the floor above it, is just a library of books that look identical to themselves. And he walks over to a very specific one, pulls it down, and these books are 5 feet tall, 5 feet wide, like books. Sets this book down and opens it, and you see this passage in front of you.
Does it look different than the other passages?
Roll an investigation check.
I'm very concerned about this.
My brain extra dumb from them fucking intellect of ours. 10.
God fucking damn it. I rolled an 8.
What language is it in?
Giant. I mean, you could probably, even without knowing the language, see if the handwriting looks different.
Oh.
Yeah, Ivan wants to cast Comprehend Languages, the ritual in 10 minutes.
Oh, Garagak, buddy.
Okay. Ivan sits down and goes,
Mixed in with meows.
So loud.
Yeah, it's a lot of meowing. For some reason, vaguely barking.
Bigly bulky. Just
I mean, what? Your god's a dog, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A cat man with a dog god. Wait, who is your god? Just out of
Zep.
character.
Heads up.
Okay, interesting.
You spend some time. You can now understand all written languages.
Okay. I'll actually like spend some time as much as Zephyros will allow me to like study like the pages before and the pages after.
Go
Zephyros, just
ahead.
randomly scribble on paper real quick to see if you can understand what the scribbles mean.
It has to be a language.
It has to be a
Does
language.
it?
Does Temp Clan have their own language? Do they have writing ciphers? Is it like Thieves can't, but Temp can't?
Pyramid schemes aren't that smart. Ivan, roll an investigation check with advantage, since you are taking time to go over and pour over all these notes, and not just like, these different?
I'm sorry, I have a -2 to my intelligence.
Maybe you
I
should
just
stop
rolled
getting
bad.
hit by intellect of
And
ours.
I forgot about.
Garagak, you can't read. Like, as a trait, barbarians can't read.
No, that's
That's fair.
3.5 shit.
Yeah,
Get
that's
that out of here.
I thought it was still true.
No.
Oh,
Couldn't I
barbarian-
like braille it? I mean, like a giant, like heavy-handed this shit on the paper, right?
Magic
Barbarians
quill.
used to
Yeah.
have to take a feat
Mm-hmm.
to be able to read.
Thought that was still true. Maybe that's just grog.
Yeah, I think it was a role play
5
choice.
was a
but,
magical time.
God, 3.5 was
I got
something.
I got a 12 for the roll.
With advantage?
With advantage. I got a 6
Oh
advantage.
no.
With advantage?
With advantage.
you
Oh,
know,
But it
man.
is my other
I know.
inspiration.
I can use one of mine. I
So
can
I
stare at
use
it
it.
longer and be out of spite.
Do one of you want to
No.
burn your DM inspiration?
I will burn one. This seems
Oh, thank
important
God.
to know.
All right.
Congratulations.
I'm going to go over this right now, actually, because it's been used twice this episode.
Because we've rolled like shit.
Also, Ian and I have stockpiled because we are the ones who take
have.
notes.
So I do DM inspiration 100% differently than the game does, because I while D&D is fun and the mechanics are fun, sometimes you have those pivotal story moments where your players are like, man, I really need to know this information, or man, I really need to succeed here. So through various ways in the campaign, basically anything that pleases me greatly, players can earn a DM inspiration point. Instead of being able to only ever have one, they can have as many as they have successfully earned. Additionally, instead of just using that DM inspiration to do, I don't even know what the base book, I think it gives you advantage on a roll or adds a die or something like that. I think, no offense to the creators, you guys did a great job. I think that's super lame. So how I do DM inspiration is if you burn an inspiration point, you automatically critically succeed on whatever it is you are trying to do, or you can burn one in the middle of a puzzle to get a clue as to how to solve that puzzle.
So that would make it an 18. Because I have a -2 to my
Or
investment.
are you burning it for you, or are you going to burn it for Ivan?
Oh, I'll burn it for Ivan. I don't know. I could do that for other people.
Yeah,
I'll
you can
burn it for
absolutely do that for Ivan.
Oh, fuck
Okay,
yeah.
so 22 then.
22, great. The handwriting is definitely different. Everything before it and everything after this like series of memories regarding the Ordning falling apart and Chieftain Gus specifically,
Are there pages missing?
there's not pages missing.
Seems as though pages are rewritten.
All of the writing has looked very uniform. It is very cut and dry, like single line writing formats, because this magical quill and ink have been writing down all of Zephyros' memories as he experiences them. This one section looks like a relatively decent forgery, but with your keen eye, you pick out that there are differences. The Y's swoop a little too far on some of the Y's. The dots are slightly higher placed in other spots. So instead of this being this almost robotic, like,
Do we have a sample
Preprint
of
notion.
Dandelion's handwriting?
I don't think so.
Either way, to Parto's dance.
Ivan will point it out to everybody, of course. Show everybody that like the minor differences. And I'll look over at Zephyros and ask, so you told us that you have like magic quill and ink that does this for you.
Correct.
Do you ever do it yourself, or do you ever have somebody else do it for you, or is it only ever that method?
I do if it's necessary,
So,
but it hasn't been necessary in 1,000+ years.
so hypothetically, if anyone were to write something in one of these books, would you believe it as truth? Would that be part of your memories?
It would be part of my memories at that point, yes.
Okay. So from this forgery here, we can definitely tell that probably Xerxes would be the only organization that we know of to have reliable means to access these books of yours.
Are there anyone else you allow in your tower?
I've had several visitors, yes, that come through.
Say for argument's sake, if you had a family, would you allow them here?
Yes, of course. I don't, but
Yeah,
I would.
if you had the family, would you invite them over? And the answer seems to be yes. Is there any way we could know who maybe have modified your journals?
Which is the last writing before the alteration, and then the first writing after the alteration? Like, what were the memories before and after the alteration?
Right before the alteration, the memories there are talking about the family legacy being carried on. They're talking about a long cycle of family that has grown and cultivated itself off of interacting with the small folk. There's talking about being extremely proud. The last line that you see before the alterations is this writing depicting this sense of extreme pride in something. And then after, the next memory is of him being exiled from the Cloud Giant Society, of him being cast out to go and live his life as this wandering information gatherer, really.
I'll push anyone who doesn't know that know, and like point that out too. That's really like specific gap in memory that is super suspicious for a current situation.
Sure.
What was the pride in your family line? Or of this family line working with the small folk? Ga is not one who chooses to. She wants all that war.
Oh, it's our family. That's how our family was formed. As I said, my for generations back before even me, there was. We have always prided ourselves on, and it sounds crude to say the least, but we wanted to make the small folk and giant kind work together in any capacity that we could. So a lot of our family line at the higher branches would make children with small folk. They would. That's why I am so much smaller than my kin. That is why. And you see he's struggling to try to recollect. Like, you've hit this point where he doesn't.
Where did you live before you were exiled?
With the Cloud Giants, of course.
Do you remember, though, why you were exiled in the first place, or is that gone along with the rest of the pages in this paper?
I wasn't exiled. I left. I chose to leave to go gather information.
This says you were exiled.
That's impossible. That's impossible. He goes over and he picks up the book and starts scanning through the pages.
Is it possible your memories are
tempered,
incomplete from what the books say? That you could remember something outside of this?
or that somebody has intervened in them and has changed them without your knowledge?
The implications of someone being able to tamper with what I remember as I've interacted could mean anything.
We hate to put this on you, but it appears to be the case. If you have family, allegedly have family you do not remember, you say you chose to leave, but this says you were exiled. It says that Chief Ga was the one who earned this by birthright, but we know from other giants that she earned this by
war.
Blood.
And from what we have been told, and from what seems to be the implication, from what seems to be your personal, absolute pride and joy of the heritage of your lineage, It seems to be that pride and joy in the sun which you do not remember.
Who wanted to unite the giants for the small folk. If your son were to be crowned, again, if you do not have one, but knowing who you are as a person, if your son were to be crowned as head of potentially the hill giants or a giant clan, would you be there for that crowning?
Of course.
Where are people chosen to head the ordering? Where is the ceremony done?
There is no ceremony. It is done.
How
Then
does the Allfather pick them then?
they all try to grow strength in their own ways. The hill giants try to be the largest, to consume the most. The fire giants try to make the best weaponry, the best armors. The stone giants try to create the best works of art. Until someone is deemed worthy by the Allfather, then there's no true leader of the ordering.
Just those who are willing to press for it. Is there a family name of yours that is given through generations?
We don't have family names. We only have the names given to us at birth, a singular name.
If you were to have a son, what would you have named him?
I'm not one for those things. I'm sure I would have had my wife choose the name.
You would not have had a son outside of a wife. A marriage.
No, but if I did, it wouldn't have been with another giant, honestly. It would have been a great dishonor to my family's heritage.
Even if it was a different kind of giant?
Yes.
I'm not sure if it necessarily had to be with another giant.
But that means if he did have a son, his son was married to another giant.
Well, his son was married to another giant, but was, again, a half-giant and working
Yeah,
for...
There is nothing wrong with that. Bartos, did you happen to get the name of her husband?
Where is the Bartos's notes?
To part notes.
Depart Notes. Depart Notes was keeping notes in a bunch of different places, but part of Depart Notes got lost because Depart Notes fucking Ian got drunk. Oh, boy.
Actually, how old was Moog?
Come back to me.
Okay. Moog was... I forget how giant age structure works. She was the equivalent of like her early 20s to mid 20s.
So
Do you have memories of a moment of great pride 20 or so years ago? Or giant equivalent of 20 or so years ago?
Not that I can think of, no.
when would that have been? So in the books, like in his giant memory books or whatever, how many volumes to the back would that have been?
Specifically, the difference in when now to when this little gap of forgery was,
Maybe one book, maybe two.
which would equate to...
It varies. It depends on how much he experiences. Because day-to-day memories are like day-to-day, but
Yeah, it's not going to be like, I lived in the tower
events.
again. What's up? I saw a pretty bird.
I think I figured out what our sound issue is. I think it's prioritizing whoever is speaking, and somebody's mic is like constant triggering, so it's keeping other people quiet. I'm not sure.
I mean, I muted Zach while he is away briefly.
I mean, we could all mute ourselves and turn ourselves back on one at a time.
I mean, Ian's frozen now, so there's that.
Oh no.
But I also think it was Ian's mic that was
Doing
constant acting. Because when you were trying to talk, Jay, you were a lot quieter than everyone else.
Interesting. No, that's fair. That's why I repeated my question.
Oh, you're good.
There he goes.
Yeah, let's wait and see what goes on with Ian. You, Zephyros would tell you that it could be anywhere between 1 year per book to 50. It truly just depends on what has been going on.
So we can assume that it was about a book or two back. So
Do we want to rummage through all of his books to find more forgeries?
Ivan speaks up. Would you be able to pinpoint any books that reference the organization Xerxes? I would like to look through any entries you have regarding that organization.
I don't know that I have very many at all. I have one where I met this fellow that claims to be from this organization.
The fellow lavender hair, fancy suit, eye patch?
Sounds like him.
Dandelion himself, then.
Cool.
When did you meet him?
800 years ago?
Dandelion is eternal.
Oh, of course he is.
What was your interaction? Why?
What do you mean of course he is?
He's a deity.
He's a what?
He's a deity. Deities are themselves everlasting.
We did not... He appears as a human man. What do you mean he is a deity? A deity of what? To whom?
A deity of chaos, a deity of the unknown. He's been referenced many times throughout various cultures, appearing this person, this leader that leads a secret organization to help sway the tides of the world.
Would I have any long stretch of a memory of hearing that anywhere before?
Roll a religion check.
A religion? Delightful.
now that I think about that, that sounds kind of like
It's still an intellect check. God damn it.
Correct.
Oh, it didn't. Fine, I'll roll on here.
Is Dandelion the secret leader of the Temp Clan? This is going to be really upsetting for me.
God.
Natty 1, baby.
Oh no.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
What was your interaction like the first time that you met Dandelion?
He was interesting, to say the least.
I feel like we need to do a brief pause. We just found out Dandelion's a deity.
Wait, what?
Dandelion is a deity of chaos, referenced
What?
through many generations, many different eras.
What?
Ivan goes, oh no, a deity of chaos? I never knew.
That was an important time for me to lose my internet connection.
Ivan?
Insight check.
Feel free, but I feel like he's making it extremely obvious that he's lying.
I know, but
you
I just
knew.
want to roll something.
Roll something, baby!
Can somebody please tell me what's going on?
That's it. That's all we found out.
Who found this out?
We asked him if he met Dandelion 800 years ago. We went, wait, what? And he went,
I believe him.
God. And I was like, what? Oh, what did you roll? Oh, Garagak had a 20 on his religion check. What does
Of course he
Garagak
did.
know?
I'm proficient.
I had a 1 on my insight check, which gives me a 9.
I'm going to laugh if Garagak remembers these things.
I rolled deception against that? Wait, what's my deception?
No, this was religion to remember Dandelion, not
Oh, he was going against the insight check.
to the -1.
Coda, how do you do this?
I'm proficient.
That's how. Proficiency, bitch. Garagak. Because of course.
I appreciate too that you were gonna sit there and not say anything
Yeah, I
about
wouldn't
that.
say anything. I was just
I
letting it go.
tabbed over because I happened to pull up roll 20 to see what hero rolled if he rolled in the system, and I saw your fucking 20. It was unnatural. It was a modified 20, but it's still a 20.
So confused.
Garagak, all of these words are flying by your head. You're half listening. This is that deep political talk that they've been getting into lately. You don't really carry that. You're pretty dead set.
Yep.
And then they start talking about this god of chaos, and you're like, oh, now that seems interesting. Conversation keeps going, and you go, yeah, I heard of somebody like that.
Barbarian warlock.
Specifically, he is known to the warring clans as
Dandelion.
the Grim Reaper, essentially. Whatever side he chooses to support, whoever he throws his weight behind dies.
Oh.
He has shown up
Dies?
in whoever he throws weight
against.
behind wins. Yes.
Okay.
Apologies,
I was
that
like,
is a mistake on my side.
that changes everything.
Oh.
We're all dead.
That this figure throughout history, and you know this because you come from war, you come from combat. This figure has shown up time and time again, and every time that he helps someone succeed, at least has in the past, they have, almost assuredly.
So he's almost like the boogeyman of war.
He is commonly referred to as the Traveler.
Are you fucking kidding me, Alex?
Oh.
Hey man, there's no strict lore about who the Traveler is,
No,
okay?
there's not. You're fine.
Matt
I'm just
Mercer,
angry.
Matt Mercer made a happy one. I made an evil one. Okay, what's up? Happened.
Nice.
Do you say any of this, Garagak?
Does
Yeah,
Garagak share any of this?
I share that information.
He just has a
with everybody.
brain blast moment on his own, like, huh, and then moves on.
Also, did I take the folding chair, the ordinary folding chair?
I assumed that somebody grabbed them.
Okay. Well, I just kind of like fold that out and take a seat, and I'm like, yo, check this out. Let everyone know. Completely unknowing of what that'll do to me.
You sit in this chair.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I don't know how to describe nothing happens.
Okay.
Nothing happens. You sit in the chair. I was trying to figure out a way, like a sly way to tell you what the chair does without you identifying it. But there's really not a way to. So
It's a chair.
get wrecked. You sit in a chair and you tell a story.
Okay. Nothing
Would
bad
I-
happens to me.
No.
Would I have heard of
Okay.
the Traveler before?
Folding chair of storytelling.
Roll another religion check.
Different die this time.
Oof.
It's a 6.
Nope.
I majored in
Oof.
Sylvanas.
Oof.
Any Sylvanas-based religion check, you're gonna crush.
Hey, there we go.
Yo, I'll take that.
I'm so angry. Never using physical dice again. Those were my 2 new dice I bought, and they betrayed me. They're not Lysander's dice. That's what we do.
Anuk, with your 16, you know, hearing that name, something rings true in your mind. You remember hearing stories in your youth being told of the war between the giants and the dragons. You remember hearing stories of the dragons coming in from all across the prime material plane to aid in this fight against the giants. Stories of fellow islanders seeing these massive armies of dragons flying overhead. And you remember being told a story of this figure. No one ever saw their face, but this figure that in one instantaneous moment at the peak of this battle drove their blade through the heart of Tiamat and ended the war. No one knew who this figure was. No one knew where they had come from. But you do remember, in all the stories, this person being referred to as the Traveler.
Oh
Oh yeah. This traveler, he ended the dragon war, yeah? He slayed Tiamat with just one thrust of his sword.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is quite the noble accusation. Single thrust of the sword for Tiamat, the
Hey.
dragon queen?
That's how the story goes through the generations, yeah?
That is quite a frightening person if that story is true, and if we have indeed met this traveler in person on numerous occasions.
Anyone who would like to, with all of this information that has come up, may roll a history check or a religion check, your choice, to see if you can pull further narratives of this person. Yeah, Anuk, you pretty much tapped yours.
Mine is not rolling.
I hit a 16.
D20.
Oh,
Nat 20 plus 6.
what?
Yes, Tempard!
I got a nat 1.
Except for the fact that I rolled for history, so I don't care anything about the Traveler as like a god. I want to know if this is the secret leader of the Temp Clan. Because the Temp Clan CEO just has nothing in like as a description. We know vaguely it's a dude.
Ivan,
Love
I
it.
do have one question for you. Did you know this before now? That
From all the
Dandelion
clues,
was a chaos god?
from all the clues we've been given, I had a very strong suspicion. Yes,
So at least he did not confirm to you and you held that from us.
correct.
Still would have been nice to know. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
if the smart folk would inform the less smart folk of the conclusions they are drawing, that would help out very greatly.
It is true, especially because the less smart folks seem to be the most vocal of the group here. Tepartos understands, Tepartos does not know, but Tepartos has opinions, and opinions would really use some information here.
I would like to have my intelligence damage reduced, please.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't
Same.
it?
Wait, let me see what spells I got.
Tepartos,
Yes?
with your 16, you rolled religion. Yes.
Yes.
You remember a story from your childhood.
From Mama Tepartos.
You remember a story of Sylvanas.
Oh.
You remember, and it's not a story that's told often, because often it is looked at as a moment of weakness for Sylvanas. It's not something that they tell.
Something we do not like to acknowledge.
Sylvanas once was the driving deity behind a war to save a massive forest that existed on the prime material plane.
The plane we exist on?
Correct.
Okay.
This forest, its name lost to time, was said to span a continent much larger than Faerun itself. All of it full of nature and people that revered nature and looked up to it in the same way that you and your people do. And then this forest was invaded to be conquered as a new land. You remember with the sheer power of these armies coming together, one, this invading force, these dark characters invading, one, the forces of good, the animals, the Sylvanas worshippers, all of these natural powers, druids, clerics, paladins, all of these people going to war with these dark forces in this surge of divine power. Two humanoid forms manifested in the skies. One, Sylvanas. The other, a dark, cloaked and hooded figure that no one could recognize. Fated battle in the sky. Sylvanas fought valiantly, but in the end, this dark, hooded figure drove a blade deep into the chest of Sylvanas.
Oh.
In one last brief moment, it is said that Sylvanas to save their own existence and to give one last fighting chance to their followers, broke into two forms.
She died.
One, a fierce defender, bearing a mighty shield and sword, immediately leaping forward to drive this blade out of the chest of Sylvanas. The second form, a valiant guardian who came to the battlefield in front of this army of good and light and led them to victory, bearing nothing but a very large sword. These two forms pushed back these dark forces. But never reformed. Instead, in their own way, they carried Sylvanas' light. You gather that these beings are who, or at least one of them, is who you know to be Sylvanas. Tempard, with a natural 20 leading to a 26. On history, you say?
You bet.
You recall in your time traveling, doing various work for the Temp clan, hearing stories in taverns you'd stay the night in, hearing rumors and whispers of someone that was going through the multiverse as you know it, through every plane of existence. You would land in Winterheart for a brief Winterheart. Wow, what a pull! Neverwinter, and hear stories of this new individual that had come into town and was immediately believed to be the king's highest advisor, guiding the king's hand on every decision that was made. You ended up staying with a Goliath tribe that was wandering through the plains and hearing stories of this Goliath that showed up in their greatest time of need and led them to a victory to keep their tribe alive. You remember stories of this from countless places. Each of these events taking place, changing the face of the world as you know it, as anyone's known it. New people rising to power, people maintaining power that were sure to be defeated. With the stories that your allies are sharing, you come to one singular conclusion. It has to have been the Traveler.
Still no connection to the Temp clan.
Not that you're aware of now.
Not directly.
Sweet.
Zep-
Cool. That was going to cause a really bad situation. It's going to cause like 7 panic attacks for Temp Bard.
yeah, murder the CEO of your company. Zephyros, what of the time that you met Dandelion?
When we met, we were discussing the what was it? We were discussing what a future would hold, where creatures that small folk would consider monsters, if they cease to exist, what that future could potentially bring. We were discussing the pros and cons of mass genocide.
There were pros.
Sure.
Safety of the small folk.
The ability for the race that was continuing to gain dominance in the prime material or the races rather, to do so. Instead of being annihilated by other races that were trying to stop them from gaining that power.
And
So-
Dandelion is now pursuing this plan.
It would appear that the ordering breaking has given him the opportunity that he needs.
To annihilate the races that he deems unworthy in favor of the races that he deems worthy. What we are told the whole time.
But now he has the power of a deity to back it up, and we have made an
He
enemy of this
is
deity.
a deity.
That's what I mean. He is the power of the deity to back it up, and so if we anger this deity, we have allegedly nothing but death facing us.
At this point, you guys hear the sound of hoofbeats.
Is
Great.
it Dandelion watching this as he's been very creepily watching
Mhm.
us this entire
Oh,
time?
absolutely.
Like,
He knows and is all.
You hear these
Keep address
hoofbeats
that.
getting relatively closer, and coming from outside of the tower, obviously. And
I
as
forgot
you,
we weren't in the air, and I was very concerned for a brief
No.
moment.
Oh yeah, I was
Uh,
like, why aren't we flying yet?
And as you, because you never said anywhere you wanted to go.
Because we said we were
Uh,
going to have words and then betray Dandelion, but these words have betrayed Dandelion, so we're here now.
And you glance out the front door of the tower, and Tumult, you arrive,
Yeah.
having heard rumors as your party has traveled of where they have gone.
Oh great.
And I mean, we have stayed here for a couple of days now, so.
Great. You gave
it was
them
just
time
like
to
in
catch
one
up.
town over, and they're like fucking cloud giant things coming down.
You're like, cloud giant things, let's go!
The
I can
fucking
see
tower
griffins!
with a hat.
Oh, how you guys been?
Double!
Ah!
What a pleasant surprise. The Bartos has died.
Oh. You want a beer?
Yes.
I'll pour him a beer for the alchemy shop.
Great.
The Bartos embraces it happily.
Okay. Well, I'm useless.
It's
I don't think
okay,
I've-
my friend. Come. We play
kinda
with your griffins and we talk. And oh, I got some money for you from that last thing that you weren't here for.
Oh yes, we had quite the experience.
I got money for something I didn't help with.
Oh yeah,
Tumult!
you're part of the group, yeah.
I mean, we share, as the temp plan shares with everyone. That's why
And we care.
10% of my earnings go there.
Tumult, what is your opinion on Dandelion?
Go that guy. After my last talk with him, I'm totally Team Dandelion here.
He is a
Oh.
chaos god.
You guys stand here, and the whole time, in their true fashion, Soup and Phil have just been kind of going like this and watching as people are talking and following the conversation. And at Tumult, as you walk in, they stand up, they give you hugs as you walk in, they sit back down, and then you say that. And Soup just looks at you and goes, "Oh, brother." Sits back down. Goes,
What did I say? Something bad, Soup?
"Everyone's entitled to their own opinions in this world."
Well, apparently you experienced something I wasn't allowed to have.
Yeah, let me give you the rundown of everything that you've missed.
I would
Let's
love
see.
this.
And he gives that rundown that we had given you beforehand.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Oh,
one.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no,
I'd
no,
love
no,
to
no.
hear Soup.
Nowhere nearly as in depth. Soup looks at someone and goes, "Let's see. You were here for Lion Dandy.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked.
And then I took off with a book.
That's right. After that, we went and met up with the dragon.
Oh, and
That sucked.
damn.
I don't know what happened in the forest, but I died and Phil died.
They did die.
But we saved Princess Pony, and Garagak still has that horse. I'm sure you saw it outside.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Amazing
yeah,
is
that's-
horrifying.
But yeah, we died, and that sucked. Let's see. We decided that after meeting with this dragon, and we died, and Dandelion brought us back, which is going to have some unforeseen price to pay later, I'm sure. well, Dandelion was there, brought us back, and that words were said, things got heated. Turns out, and probably the most important piece of information you to have, Tepartos did not fuck Moog.
What?
Yeah.
Tepartos apologizes.
I slapped the beer out of his hand.
I agree.
No. I don't care if you almost died. You deserved it now.
I'm just as appalled as you are. I mean, who wouldn't want to sleep with Moog?
I was with Tempart on this.
Tepartos has a complicated sexuality.
What else happened here?
You don't have any.
That's the complication.
It's not complicated. Get one. That was your chance.
Tepartos does not with a chance. Tepartos wishes his... Anyway, this is not the time nor the place for this.
It's okay. I support you,
Continue, Sue.
Tepartos. You do what you do, yeah?
Thank you, Anouk.
I
Tepartos
think,
appreciates you.
I think the most important part, which you have now been informed of this powerful ally of ours that has said he is on our side up until we talk to a dragon and then says if we wrong him one more time, is a great and powerful god known as the Traveler, potentially, or the Grim Reaper, or a million other names, and we have now made an enemy of a god.
And Tepartos is asexual.
I have a flag for that. I could swap
Just
that out.
wanted to throw that out there.
So
He's
Tempart,
great.
did the thing with the dragon, you know, that we talked about with the guy, that go the way that we
Yeah.
planned?
So, good news. I didn't need notes. I got to experience it.
Okay.
We can talk later.
Yeah.
So this is the point you are stuck on? If whether or not Tempart slept with a dragon?
No, I was just
It
ignoring
seems as though
Tepartos.
Yeah, is that something you canonically say? I need to know.
I say it out loud. I was like, no, I was ignoring him. He didn't offer me any knowledge. After I,
Tepartos, you are incredibly valid.
from what I
Thank
was
you.
told after I poofed into the sphere of something that I got annihilated. Anyway.
Oh, that's right, the Spear of Annihilation
Still
that
have your butt.
Dandelion now has.
Yeah.
Oh, we
yeah.
gave the Traveler a Sphere of Annihilation!
Yeah.
So after
That
that,
happened.
I went to go seek knowledge because I knew nothing about what happened or what to do with no spells. I took the book from the guy. Apparently, I found nothing with this. I found out I'm completely incompetent with researching magic.
Oh, great. Our magic researcher is completely incompetent with that. That's great.
Yeah, I remember good details. Did not remember good details.
I kind of look at Zephyros and say, "Can you please help me?"
Sure. What do you need help with?
I'm giving him the book.
You're just giving him your book of lost secrets?
Help!
I'm just like, I need to understand this. I can't do it on my own.
No, the Lion Dandy book.
The Lion Dandy
Oh!
book.
Oh, he goes, yes, of course. Oh, yes. He takes it. He holds his hand, waves over it. You see a couple magic waves. His eyes flash with a little bit of lightning. He goes, this here's a book. Sets it back down.
Oh,
Does
yeah. Does it have anything about dinosaurs in there?
There's nothing in that book.
It's just a notebook.
It's a book.
Yeah, did you open it?
Wait a minute. Is
There's
this Death
nothing,
Note?
or you don't know what it is.
There is no. So like from Alex, 2 players, the
It's
book
an empty book.
is empty.
Is this Death Note?
Yeah,
The
no.
ink and the
But-
quill came out of that same box.
I'm
But
so mad.
the feel from it,
And
Is
so
it-
did
So bad.
the
I-
symbol
like,
of
I thought I got
Sylvanas.
I thought I got a magical vibe from
You
it.
absolutely did. He would explain to you, much like he explained about the quill and ink earlier, that this is not magic that anyone has ever seen before, so he would have no knowledge of it.
It's brand spanking new.
That,
Uh,
you know, I feel a little bit better now.
Tempard, please be careful with that necklace.
I feel much, much worse.
I feel a little bit better about not being able to figure this out on my own then.
Write Dandelion's
I'm
name in
so
it.
scared.
Ivan would walk over to Tamal and say, pull out the quill and empty ink vial and say, "Hey, you want to do some crazy blind tests?"
Yes.
I'm very down for that, but
Do not
I
you
ha-
dare write Tepartos' name inside of that book. Nothing
is
to do with
also-
Tepartos.
This is
Anook
Death Note,
throws his
dude.
hands
You guys-
up in the air
you
and
guys
walks
just-
away.
This is also the trio that drew from the deck of many like 5 times.
It is
Right.
Tepartos
Yeah,
wishes to go up
I
with
died
Anouk
from
and his
that.
griffins.
I will put it out there that I only tried to draw twice. I drew one card twice that made me draw more. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just
Like-
saying you have.
I need something stronger.
Ivan drew a lot.
Mhm.
Tempar drew a lot. Tummel
I
drew a
drew
couple of
a ton.
times, and Garagak is also sitting there rooting you guys on.
I only
Well, I got
drew
2
from
fate cards.
that. I only drew from it that one time, but that one time caused me to draw 5 cards.
That's pretty great.
Tempard's
It was
down
a
to draw
Very
again.
bad idea, and believe me, I learned from it by dying. So
I'm just saying, the Griffins, they
so-
need somebody to play with, yeah.
Okay,
Which-
Tepartos will
Apparently-
play with the griffins.
what?
apparently
No,
I-
Tabartos, you need to be here. This is important.
Tepartos fears this book.
Death Note.
No, not the book. Not the. What are we? So Dandelion is a god who is temporarily on our side. Probably not any longer.
Problematic and likely no.
Who I gave a
Tepartos
sphere of
is very
annihilation to.
obviously made.
Who we gave a sphere of annihilation to. Also,
I feel
also
like this is
problematic.
Becoming, you
Um,
know, like that epic stories that they write, you know, that
Yes,
Odyssey
yes.
stuff things.
Also, Zephyros here has gaps in his memory of having
Also
a family
problematic.
and children. And
we are finding many problems.
And what do we want to do with any of this?
Allow the
Um,
to tell you of
I
ancient
don't.
Bulk story. And I
we can talk
relayed the
about that
story
later.
that Mama
I
Tepartos
need
has
something.
relayed about, you know, the whole Sylvanas driving a sword through somebody's chest and the Traveler probably being a part of all this.
I just
and-
hold up the shield like this
Oh,
We should talk about that.
because it has 2
I-
figures on it, one of which soothing a crowd and the other avidly defending against another.
Maybe we should discuss this and its relationship to Sylvanas in this current situation that we are in.
I think both
I
of
don't-
you at this point, after you tell this story, have this moment of clarity and realization that now you fully understand why the two of you see Sylvanas so differently.
Yes, he is our one true god.
As is she,
Are
Who
both
is
the figures
his same god.
I kind of like looked to both of them. So Sylvanas is 2.
That seems to be
Sylvanas is
explicitly
2 halves of the same coin, it seems.
Oh, cool.
In
And then, not even thinking about it, I grabbed the quill that Tempard had held out, and I write that down in that book without thinking about it.
Nice.
oh no,
Alex, if this man just killed my fucking god!
It's Death
I
Note,
actually
dude.
have a quick question. I have a quick question. On the shield, does it show both like a masculine and a feminine figure?
It's mostly etching, so they're very like androgynous humanoid
Oh,
forms.
wonderful. That makes this better.
Alex, if he just killed our god,
So
I
let me get
quit?
this straight.
I
Let me get this straight.
swear to my non-existent god.
I swear to
You-
Sylvanas.
I
It's
swear to
something I would do.
Sylvanas,
I would
both
write it
male
down, and I would just
female.
give it a quill in a book.
You take this blank notebook of undetermined
God.
magic and this blank quill and ink of undetermined magic, and you write down Sylvanas is. So what exactly do you write down? This is very important.
I
We've
write
already written
down-
something, so I need to know the exact wording. Everybody else, shut
I-
up for a minute.
Write down. Sylvanas is 2 gods that is followed by 2 separate clans of Lysander to Partos. Partos believes Sylvanas is she. Lysander believes that they are he. And
Oh.
I swear to God.
it is a note I would write down. It is a note I would write down. And I didn't think about the magic thing. I just had a paper and a pen.
Was I right? Is this Death Note? Oh.
I love this
Tempard steps in.
character.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea. Can I borrow that?
Just write Dandelion.
Also need to keep notes.
Okay. So you
Okay.
write this down. You see, Lysander, you were holding your shield up, correct? Like
Uh-huh.
showing it to Tepartos.
I was invested.
Uh-huh.
You both see, whereas initially this was one image. This seamless depiction
We're almost done.
of
Wake up on their own anyway.
a man, that threw me
Sorry.
off. This seamless depiction of these two figures taking on these roles. And you see a single crack zigzag its way down the shield,
I'm really glad I did not make that painting yet.
separating these two individuals. The shield is still intact. You both don't feel any sort of loss of your divine, like of the divine presence of Sylvanas.
Can I make any sort of religion check or any
By all
sort of
means.
insight check?
I would love to do exactly that.
So, as much as I said I wanted to go play with the Griffins, I don't know if I actually got onto the platform and raised up to them.
God fucking damn it.
Am I there for this?
You can be there for this.
I walk
got a
over to
14.
Tumult.
I thought you went up with Shark Doggo.
That's
He
fine.
came back
You can be down
down.
here, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I walk
Yeah,
over to Tumult and see this. I take the quill in one hand. I take the ink bottle in the other. I walk over to Lysander and hand them the ink, and to Partos the quill, and then I walk back over to Tumult and take the book and stuff it in the hole.
Tumult?
I would fight him taking the book.
Oh, you want to fight, little man?
I mean, I wouldn't fight, but I wouldn't like just give it away right away.
Roll.
Like,
So
that
go
whatever
ahead.
just happened.
Tumult, go ahead and roll me an athletics check. Anuk, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Ooh. There we go.
This is the closest thing I have to a pot of ink. It's Garmex.
Found a knife.
Destroy me and
Nice. Yes.
Hey, Ian.
Yeah?
Knife.
I got a 14.
Thanks.
I have a 17.
You struggle, but Anuk takes the book.
Okay. Can I also make an Arcana check to see what kind of magic flowed through me when I wrote that?
Sure.
I mean, I'd probably be there like helping them because I'm also interested in how they work. Can I give them advantage on that?
Yeah, you can give him advantage.
First one was a 24. It was not a natural 20. It was a 19.
Like I literally like offered like let's try this.
And second one is 16, so 24.
Okay.
You felt more power from that book and that specific quill and ink when combined than you have ever felt in your entire life. More powerful than any spell you've seen any of your teachers cast. More powerful than any spell you've seen any of your teammates cast. More powerful than any magic you have seen come to fruition in your entire life. Just passed through you. You have no idea what kind of power it was. It's something completely foreign to you.
Was it like an overloading sensation where?
Absolutely.
So am I passed out now after?
No.
Him, or...
It was one of those senses of, think of it like a mom saving her children from like a beam that's collapsed. That moment of adrenaline, that sheer force that came through your body, and then passed in an instant.
I think we need to keep these things separate, yeah? Why don't you hold on to that, and you hold on to that, and I'll keep this in the hole.
Tumult!
Anuk, I will get to your guys' roles in just a moment. Lysander and
Why do you
Sparkles.
have that?
Hold on.
That's his quill.
That's his quill. That's not a
Oh,
real
okay.
knife. Anuk, roll me
So it's a real knife, but
roll me an insight check.
Oh, that's something I can do, yeah?
And I will give you advantage.
Oh,
really sharp.
Ian, put down the not prop knife. You're gonna hurt yourself.
14's
I'm
fine. To clarify, if anybody's actually watching this, we have roll 20 up on the side. It's what we usually use for combats and things like that. Since it started off as an online campaign. So if I'm just talking about rolls that happen, it's because it's happening over this way, and I'm just seeing them happen. We're not discussing them out loud, just to ease some clarification's sake. Anuk, fortune's enough that you think on it. The only other item that came out of that box was the holy symbol that turned into that shield. That shield, which by all accounts, anybody looking at can tell is a divine artifact.
Oh yeah.
Tumult.
Yes.
So
What
I think I
What
put
did you
1
do?
and 1 and 1 together, and I
don't-
get 3.
No.
That says these are divine things, and we need to keep them. Unless it's something very important, we need to not be writing in this book. Yeah.
Ivan.
And no,
Ivan.
if you
Evan has
ever
something.
want to be a kitty, you do. Unless you want to write it in a book,
Oh, okay.
it's not happening.
I will.
Tempard, we should
explain-
probably keep the necklace away as well.
Okay, but can I
I
write
will
something in the book
explain-
real quick?
No.
You would know the important clarification that the necklace could be identified. It was very, very much so a relatively common magical item that exists in the world. I think that is an important. I think
That's
that is an
fair.
important clarification to have.
That one was clearly a necklace of
Correct,
fireballs to somebody
correct.
who knew it.
This was
And-
clearly not an anything of anything.
And my mom had one, so I
Great.
know exactly what that is.
Tumult,
I will.
what did you do till Sylvanas?
I will
Tumult, what did you do
explain to Lysander
Sylvanas?
and to Parthos that all I did is
I'm gonna
I
put this knife
apologize.
down
I
now.
don't know what just happened, but in the spur of new knowledge and my tendency to write things down, did not think about what could just happen. But I wrote down exactly what you told me.
What happened to our
Which
shield?
was
In the split second after I finished writing it, oh my god.
Did it disappear from the book?
No.
Okay, can we just write down one more thing real quick?
absolutely
do
the
you-
fuck not.
What do you want to write down?
Dandelion is not the temp CEO,
No.
We are not writing that
Absolutely
down,
no.
no.
but
No.
I really
No, no, no.
yeah, but
no,
what if
no.
we did?
No.
100% no.
I reach into the
No,
hole and pull out a fresh book that's not the same, and a fresh ink and quill, and I hand it to them and say, "You can write it down in this book, yeah."
Thank you so much.
And
I write
the
it down,
amount-
close it up, all satisfied that now I know for sure that he is not the
You have confirmed it.
the
That's-
amount of
that's
power
good, yeah.
that came when that happened. Judging by how the shield looks now,
Yes.
I
This holy, divine, blessed
Think-
artifact that brought me back to life.
I
It was
think
a
I just
gift from my god.
Our God, our
I-
indeterminate, agendered God.
well, let's
It's
just
me.
say it was a god and now it's two, maybe?
What
Because
have you done till Sylvanas?
Sylvanas.
I could not tell
I-
you exactly what just happened. I
I
don't
show
know.
you the book. This is what they write. But I don't think we should keep these things together, yeah?
Not at
No.
all.
I was like, I
We should not
agree,
keep these
but
things.
if it just did what I think it just did,
What do
We
you think
don't
it
know
did?
what it did.
The Patos wants
But-
to know exactly what you
but
think it just
no,
did.
no, I'm not saying we're gonna do.
Oh, we
Yeah,
just
you cut
lost
out,
your...
bud.
If if
Oh, there we
it
go.
did what I think it did, and we can do more research before we do anything else.
Yes.
If it works again, this is what I needed. This is my entire journey. This is how I set the genie free.
What?
This is magic beyond the world. This is the magic that gets him out of me. If it did what I think it did, by what I'm inferring here, we will need to research. I'm not saying do it right now. We need to find out what I just did. And if it did what I think it did, which was to turn 1 into 2 of a god, I can get rid of this. They're not really get rid of, but I can set him free.
You could separate yourself, yeah?
And in the process, you turn our God into two indistinct forms in which we need them to fight this ultimate evil that we are faced with and have separated.
Well, there would be one that you have believed in the entire time to Partos, and one that
We do not
Lysander
know if
and
it
their
lost
family.
any of its divine power. You have
Do you feel different?
cracked a holy artifact.
I did it on purpose. I'm sorry.
This is problematic.
But how do you feel currently?
This is extremely interesting, actually. That's some cool shit.
Zephyros!
What if this is
Is-
a remix and this is life
But
note?
Can I see the book and Quill?
but to Partos,
Can I just
cast a
have the
spell.
No.
Can I just for one moment? I would just like to examine them. If I could just the quill and the ink and the book, please. If I could just.
Will
You
you
already
not
looked
touch
at them.
any of them to each other?
We could always just write Dandelion out of existence as an
We
experiment.
don't know what the book
Whoa,
does.
that is very problematic.
I could study the book. That's what I'm saying. I could put some research in. It's not like I've spent my entire life researching things. And
I
doing
suppose I
that
trust you more
days
than
over-
Tumult in this moment, so please, take the ink.
I would hope so. I've done literally nothing to cross you.
If I
that
hand you
you
this
Do anything to
quill,
cross you, or do this on purpose if I did what I think I just did.
What are you asking me, Tabartos? What do you want from me?
Tabartos wants to say, A, Tumult, Tabartos is mad at you. You deal with that. B, Zephyros, if Tabartos hands you this, you will live with what you did. If Tabartos hands you this quill, you will promise not to use any of the three in tandem, correct?
No. I need to do this to do research, but I can promise you that I will not write anything about, deities fracturing or anything world
It's not
altering.
like I knew
Do
that
not
this is
write
what would
anything.
You
happen.
could
Any
pay
other, please.
more attention at any given moment.
I would write
would
things like
very highly agree with that.
Zephyros had a cup of tea appear on his table and see what
We
happens.
do not write anything with
Can
any
I-
names of anyone here involved in them.
Sure,
Yes.
great. I can
Ivan.
promise you that. That's fine.
Great, Ivan, please give us your input here.
Sweet. So Anuk, you hold the book, right?
It's in the hole right now.
Okay, yeah, cool. So you hold the book. Lysander, I want you to hold the ink bottle, and Partos, you're doing the important job.
I
You
already
have this
handed
book.
the ink bottle to Zephyros. I was like,
Oh,
fine,
okay.
you take it.
Sorry.
I have this
So
ink now.
that's fine. So Zephyros, if you agree, I would like Partos to write in the book that Zephyros learns what this magic is and how this book works.
Tabartos has fear. Tabartos does not wish to write somebody's name in there.
I will not write any names. I just want to see what it does.
I
You don't
trust-
get to study magic without doing magic.
I
That
trust
is not how this
Zephyros
works.
I
more
agree
with
with
this than any of us.
This seems like a great idea. Yeah, here, have the book. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hell yeah.
You
Tabartos
thought
holds
what
this
I did
quill.
was bad.
I actually rolled for that one, and that was a natty 1.
What was the nat 20 for?
That was to see if I thought about thinking to write Dandelion out of existence.
And you thought better.
No, I said we should do it.
I'm
Alex?
only missing one piece of this experiment, please. If I could-
Before you hand that over, Alex, what did
Yes.
we learn? Or what do we know? Not much. Mine was 14, and Ian's was...
Right.
Love.
You rolled insight.
Did I?
That was me rolling inside a long time ago.
No,
I-
above mine.
I rolled mine a while ago, and I don't know.
I
what it is.
Because
have-
mine was a 14.
I have a 9 and a 14 from both of you. One
But the
for
9 is
religion, one for
insight.
insight.
If I can roll insight, I'd gladly do that instead.
So the 14 religion check. I did say you could roll religion or insight. said
Oh,
you
I
could
didn't
roll
hear
everyone.
that. Can I roll that instead now?
Sure,
Or is it
yeah,
too late?
that's fine. To Partos,
A
to
21.
cover what you learned with your 9 insight.
Great.
Everything seems fine. You don't feel any sort of difference. You don't know anything has changed. You just know there's a crack on a shield now.
A really important divine holy shield that brought me back to life.
Correct.
Mine was a 21.
But Lysander, knowing that having spent a little bit of time, we'll say like during a short rest during all of the crap going on, I don't think I actually put it requires attunement on the item, but it does.
I figured it did.
But you know that the shield still has all of its power. Nothing has been lost. Everything still seems to be normal. With your 21 insight, you you think back a ways. You think about all of the times that you have called upon Sylvanas' power, and you remember hearing, or at least feeling this presence near you. Yeah, that's fine. If you need to recover stuff, you can short rest, hit dice recovery. That's fine.
Oh, that's nice.
You guys, or Lysander specifically, you think back on all these moments, and you remember, you know that you felt this presence, right? Think about like when Soup died and you were trying to bring it back. You guys felt Sylvanas' presence. You've always felt this same, Lysander for you, masculine presence. But you remember feeling this like secondary push at the end. Like this missing piece was coming and finishing the job. And as you think about it, you remember feeling this presence at all times whenever you were communicating with your god. And now that second presence doesn't seem to be there. All of your, you don't feel any change in your abilities. You don't feel anything like that. It just seems like these two pieces have been separated from each other. Like that bond that held the two together or connected the two in some way is now gone.
God damn it, Tumult.
What does that mean?
I did.
Who knows?
You were trying
Not
to...
me, the DM. This is some random bullshit that I didn't expect to happen. Figure it out as we go.
To me, this feels like I did what they were trying to argue the entire time. They're both right. You're both right now.
That's the logic of it all, really.
But in doing so, who knows what sort of power we have taken from Sylvanas in our earthly argument.
To be honest, I don't think it took anything. I think it's just...
I have never hated you more.
I haven't much look outside.
I just want to pause the tension here for one moment. Coda, you doing okay? You doing all right?
Yeah.
All right. I just know when we get into we're talking about our gods and all of this stuff and all this stuff. It's like super against your character. So your character kind of zones out. I just want to make sure you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just chilling.
Cool.
There's not a lot I can input on that stuff.
That's fair. That's fair. We just want you to know we love you and we're glad you're here.
In religion. Like, you do not care at all about
Yeah, he doesn't know jack shit, but he's like, oh yeah, I've heard of the Traveler.
Yeah, you consistently roll like 26 on every check.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm going
tension.
to ask Zephyros, before he does anything with the 3 items,
Sure.
to look at his memory book, or whatever thing he has, about Sylvanas and see if anything changed. Because he would have studied gods or anything like that, right? Like, he could have.
Yes, absolutely. This is a very good thing for me to look into. But I think the first thing we should handle is Ivan. You walked outside to take a look.
I want to look specifically at like what's going on around the mountain that like Sylvanas had altered. You know, with that magic storage.
Oh no.
The mountain where you had pulled the shield from, where there was this door that nobody could see, now has this large crag-like fissure that stretches up and through it, that branches from the base of it, where you can see these 2 now crushed and demolished stone doors.
So I'll speak up. Zephyros, hold on. One sec. Everyone, come look at this, please. Tell me what you think. And yeah, I'll just kind of show everybody the giant crack in the mountain and the doors demolished and.
But is the greenery still around as it was before?
Yeah, I think I got an idea for you.
So from where you're looking, you're just standing kind of in the doorway of Zephyros' tower. There's not a lot to look at. It still looks green, but you can't really tell any of the comparison point.
Zephyros, I think I got an idea for you, yeah?
Oh, what's this?
If we give you the quill and you've got the book and
correct.
the ink,
Sounds great.
you just
Podcast
write
is not
one
letting go of this quill.
simple sentence.
What's that sentence? Yeah, sure.
Zephyros gets his memories back, yeah?
Ooh, I like
that.
So I'm
too.
going to let you in on a secret.
But
Just a little secret, Ando. That was the entire plan.
Hey,
I
what
don't
can I
like
say?
having
I'm a
my
bit
memory.
insightful, yeah.
I don't like
Tepartos-
having my memory fucked with.
Tepartos, give him the quill.
Tepartos is
not more
very,
damage
very
that can be
concerned
done.
about this quill.
There's not more damage that can be done.
Fine, have the
That is entirely false.
fucking quill.
That is entirely. I
I
take
was
that.
like,
You.
if I just did what I think I did, there's a lot worse that could be done.
What if I was just like, hey, Sylvanas is dead? Like, that would suck.
That would suck.
I like the fact that he
I mean,
you
I'm not
can't
going to
time
write-
it, so
I
I'm
promise
assuming
you.
he did too.
I promise you to take things slow. I'm going to do a couple experiments. Who has some ideas of what we could experiment with before I, start affecting my mind and could possibly lose all of my constitution depending on what's happening?
Ivan
Just take the
waves
goddamn
frantically.
quill.
Ivan, what would you like me to write?
Turn me into a kitty for a minute. For 1 minute. That way we can test both the duration and the actual application of this.
I
Tepartos is
want to
very
walk
against you
outside and
using
examine the
anywhere in
countryside.
this.
I kind of want to look at Zephyros as he says that and says, what if this magic has a limited number of charges, though?
Well, we'll never know until we try. So, Lysander, for point of order, I'm going to go around and see what everybody's doing in this moment. Lysander, you are walking out of the tower to go look at
Yeah,
the surrounding
like not far,
countryside.
but I kind of want to look around and see what happened.
Sure. Tepartos, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm going to throw the quill at Zephyros and curl into a ball and start crying.
Great, you do that.
I'm mad about this.
Ivan, you are getting ready to be turned into a cat for a minute, correct?
Yep, and I'll send hands over to help with Tapato. Like cuddle.
Oh, God.
Like, hey, it's okay.
Tepartos
Perfect.
appreciates
Tepar-
that, and it's really not
Tepartos,
okay.
you're laying on the ground, and all of a sudden you just feel this as a tentacle like wraps around your face and starts patting you consolingly.
God damn it.
Tempard, what are you doing in this moment as Zephyros is about to write into this book?
Tempard has an idea.
I would love to hear it.
Tempard wants to write down Tempard's moms are here.
I like that one.
Bold
I
move,
like it.
Cotton.
It's a bold strategy, Con. Let's see how it plays out. Tumult, what are you doing as this book is about to be being written into again?
Asking a Nook for a normal pen and paper to write down everything that happens when Zephyros writes in the book.
You get that. Garagak, what are you going to do in this moment?
I would like to hold out that bag of the dust from the coin turned into that we used to summon Zephyros,
Uh-huh.
and ask if he would write that it was a hole again. Because if it could separate them, maybe it could also put things back.
Okay.
Wait. Ooh,
Science, baby. Science.
Can we also just, like, ask him for another one?
Nope, he doesn't have one. He only had one.
No.
He did very specifically say, he's like, I only have one of these left, but you
Yep.
have it.
So when we used it and it turned to dust, I collected it all in a little bag.
He very much did.
Yes.
He's absolutely
it,
right.
yeah.
I love it.
And Nook.
Well, I'm going to stand by Zephyros and look at where he's writing, and I'm going to see, and I'm going to whisper over to him and say, you could write in there, George is the bestest boy ever.
Why would I write something that is already true?
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah?
I love Anouk so much.
Okay, here's the order of operations. 1, we test the waters with something low-key, potentially minimal risk. We turn Ivan into a cat for a singular minute.
Is that relatively
Really
low
low
risk,
risk,
though?
and then
Because if
stay.
he
Like,
does
doesn't
not believe
come
this is low
back,
risk
we
in the
lose
slightest.
Ivan.
Who
Yeah, I feel like
knows?
the coin's
No,
the
no.
lowest
Out of,
risk.
out
And
of
he starts-
character. Ivan wants this anyway, so if it works and it's
I
permanent,
want
it
I'm
to
very
happen.
happy.
I want you to
Got a
know
point.
I have a backup plan should that happen and he doesn't come back.
Is
I
it
have a backup plan. It just takes one level.
So
we just have to keep a
Reincarnation,
cat with
isn't it?
us.
So time slows down as
I'm
those of
about
you in the
that.
tower are
Awaken.
standing and eagerly watching as Zephyros shrinks down. He brings himself to be roughly 6.5 feet tall.
Oh, then I can
A
look
much,
over the top
a much
of him.
smaller version of himself, so that he can interact with this book and quill at the size it is meant to be interacted with.
in larger
Half of our
distance?
party is now bigger than the fucking storm giant.
He is a cloud giant, thank you.
Or cloud giant, sorry.
Don't disrespect him like that. And he writes, Ivan becomes a cat for 1 minute. And as he finishes the sentence, the rest of you watch Ivan disappear. Ivan.
I love how excited you are about it just randomly disappearing. Great.
For this is only Ivan.
Mhm.
Ivan, you open your eyes after what you think is a blink, and you find yourself much lower to the ground than you would normally be. But you look around and you don't see Zephyros' tower.
Uh-oh.
You look around and you see hill giants.
Ooh.
Hill giants everywhere inside of a massive wooden fortress.
I look down at like my feet. Do I have paws or do I have hands?
You have paws, but they are bound.
Uh-oh.
Does he have beans? Does he have toe beans?
Sure, yeah.
Teeny tiny
Sounds great.
toe beans.
Yep, yep, it's great.
So like, how big am I? Like, what? Like,
You look based off of what you see around you, and as you're looking around, you realize you are in a pile of various foods.
Ooh. I'm a food now.
You see a large, like, ham hock next to you.
Uh-huh.
You're about the same size as that.
Okay.
You are a cat.
I'll be eaten by hill giants.
It needs to be specific. That's why.
You
Do
glance
I-
around, and you see this massive, massive giant, about 15 feet tall, but probably about 15 feet in radius of just this gut and these like this absolutely monstrously obese hill giant who waddles in your direction and goes,
Right.
"Oh, fresh food," and picks up you in your cat form.
Uh-oh.
Is there anything you would like to try to do?
So before that, like, do I feel like I have any access to any of my like any of my magics? Be it
Would you like to
symmetrical-
try to cast a magics?
Yes, I would like to try as I see him approaching, and as soon as I see that like I'm bound up, to try to use my invocation and become invisible. As long as I'm in dim light, so like if I'm like in a pile, like just kind of turn invisible.
You feel no connection.
Oh no!
Your magic does not take hold. You see this cat get picked up.
Oh no! Do
And
I have a tail?
you do have a tail.
Well, I'd like wag it furiously.
I have a tail! As you get shoved into
You
this hill
also have
giant's mouth.
claws.
Yeah, but like the bound up. So yeah, like I guess the bound up claws, like try to like flail and claw as best I can at the inside of this thing, like as it's picking me up and shit.
It tosses you into her mouth and does some chewing.
Oh no!
And you get eaten by a hill giant.
Dang it! How does this like affect me? Like, do I experience being chomped up and like
You
like,
do. You
like,
feel every
everything?
bit of that pain.
Oh
That's
man,
horrible.
that's intense. That's crazy. That's
What color
intense.
is your fur?
Now,
It's-
we'll say this was about 30 seconds.
Okay.
About 30 more seconds go by, and the rest of you see Ivan reappear, laying on the ground dead.
Like dead?
Like dead.
Oh shit! I revivify immediately.
Do
Am
you
I
have the
like in a
diamonds?
bloody mess?
What?
Do you have the diamonds?
I do. I have 2 left.
Okay, you cast Revivify, Ivan. You come back to life with 1 minute. Or with one hit
Right.
point.
With 1 minute left. Oh god.
Just 1 minute.
Not again.
What the fuck?
Intriguing!
It
Now-
worked.
Intriguing?
Wait.
Templar,
know.
you wanted me to write Tempard's mothers are here, correct?
Wait, no, hold on.
Do
wait,
not
hold on,
do this.
hold on.
Ivan, what
Hold on, wait.
happened?
So I'll explain to them like how this all kind of like happened and like for 30 seconds. I was a cat. Okay, I was a cat. I was very happy to be a cat.
God damn it! I need more diamonds.
So
But
I write it
To
down,
part us these diamonds.
and I look at Zephyros, and I kind of say, "Do you get what this means?"
I get that it means that we have no idea how this means.
My favorite cat.
We need to be
Exactly.
specific. We need to be specific.
So as
He
Tepartos,
became a cat, but we never said he should become a cat here.
cast Revivify, and as soon as Ivan takes a breath, I slam a 3rd level Cure Wounds into him.
Perfect.
18 hit points.
18 hit points back to you, Ivan.
Thing.
I stare at Tepartos and Lysander and say, oh, I think I just kind of figured out, and it was what I thought I did. Sylvanas is now 2 separate pieces, completely separate from one another. So your Sylvanas, Tepartos, is your Sylvanas, and Lysander's Sylvanas is their Sylvanas. There's 2 Sylvanas now.
Dos Sylvanos, if you would.
Those Sylvanos. So technically, I didn't do anything bad.
Solve the argument.
In theory, because all I did was what you thought already happened. So it's
Love how you're
Now
having
just-
this deep, meaningful conversation with Tepartos, who is also getting like side attacked by his wife.
Sorry, what's up?
You're fine.
like it's I don't think it actually changed anything. It just made 2 of 1.
However,
I never said they lost any power. I never said they gained any power. I just said your Sylvanas is real. I wrote down exactly what you had told me about what you thought Sylvanas was. Lysander put down, and I put down what Lysander thought about their Sylvanas. And I point to the shield. I said, yes, there's a crack in it, but the power is still
The shield
there.
is not there, for I am outside with it. Just
Well,
letting
I
you
point
know.
to where Lysander walked because we saw the crack. I was like, it's cracked, but it has power. You still have power. You cast Revivify just now. You still have power.
you
all it
have
did
a
was-
point. However, Tepartos will
think-
say, regardless of the power that we still... Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Regardless of the power that we still have, we do not know whether or not we have made a whole new separate god of equal power, which would be just completely unfathomable that we have this power in our hands right now and is beyond terrifying that we have multiplied gods. Or, what is likely the more realistic option, we have taken the god who has divine power and cut that divine power directly in half. 2 halves of a divine, albeit, but
With
a
that real
half
quick,
of a whole.
out of character to Krista, would you have told us what he had told you about your insight check, about how you used to feel 2, but now you didn't, but your power still worked the same the entire time? Where like you'd felt a power and then you'd felt like a second push, but now the second push isn't there, you just had your power? Would you have told us about that insight check, or would you have kept it to yourself?
Narratively, I want to say yes for the sake of roleplay, but I don't know if Lysander would have probably known that, and then Ivan went, hey, look, the mountain split, and left.
Okay. So going off of they haven't told us, I would ask the Parthos, well, while casting Revivify, did anything feel different? Did you feel weakened, or compared to every other time you cast Revivify? Think back on it.
I don't know. Did I have
That's-
any specific relationship with this spell that seems like it would have been out of character for my others?
Roll an insight check, baby.
Well, great. Let's inside this bish.
I'm trying to give us opportunities here at the Parthos.
So
I
while we're
appreciate
having
that.
this conversation about gods or whatever, Tempar just busts in like,
Oh, well, it
all
looks
right,
like
listen, nobody cares.
or 11. Either way,
Anyways.
that's good. Man, I am rolling terribly tonight.
I mean, you could also, like, ask because you probably saw, like, a face of, like, recognition, and then Ivan did the thing. So you could be like,
I mean,
"Yo,
I
what's
want
up?"
to go and ask, but next. That was my next thing, is I wanted to go
Yeah.
ask Lysander, but like
I can only
I'm
imagine, but my insight only got me 11 at best.
okay.
Zephyros, can we write down my thing now?
Please.
Sure.
Please
Tempard,
no.
Tempard, we can do your thing next for sure, but as an experiment, we need to collect all the variables here.
Okay, that's
we
nice.
need to figure.
So,
We need to figure
my
out what I
mom.
did and what he did. But your thing can be next. I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
I don't see any problems with writing down mom's thing, like now.
But it's not.
I
but
mean,
if it's
Zephyros
not,
is impulsive.
I mean, he is
y'all
impulsive.
decide
He's
your
been
next course of
apparent.
action.
I don't know
I'll be
how
back
he's been alive
momentarily.
this long if this is how impulsive he is with magic items.
I'm saying that with what we've seen so far, it needs to be specific. What happened with what I wrote down so far from what I know, and what Ivan just told us, what we write down needs to be absolutely what we want to happen. So we can't just say, Temp Bard's mom's here. Where's here? Because we wrote down Ivan becomes a cat for 1 minute. Ivan was a cat for 1 minute, but not here.
Well, that's why I
Also,
said they're
when
here.
is here?
When is here? Where is here? What is here?
Like here.
How is here?
How are they here?
Yeah.
Are
What
they
is the
dead?
status of them when they are here?
Like,
All important questions.
we need to be apparently very specific in what we write in this book.
Yeah, I think it's pretty specific. They're here, and they love me.
I mean, in
maybe
the stroke
more
of time, you
specific.
can come, like, talk to me.
I love how the DM
Yeah.
has known that we're just gonna take so much time arguing about this that
He-
he's just gone.
He
and
did, in
knows
fact,
what he
say, I don't know if you heard it, you guys decide what you're doing, I'll be
didn't.
right back.
wants. Okay, I didn't
Yes.
hear that.
Yeah.
I would go outside to where Lysander was and kind of look at what happened. And
I mean, I
kinda
will
walk
eventually know
over.
what happened to the landscape.
I look that there's a crack there and feel deeply ashamed because I don't know.
Yeah, I think
know
at this
know
point I am just like clutching the shield and staring at the mountain and looking around and seeing if anything looks different.
Can I
It
go
all,
check?
it all looks
Dying.
exactly the same.
So
Okay.
It doesn't appear that anything outside has changed. All of the greenery and this push of like flourishing natural life seems to still be there.
I walk over to Lysander, tentatively expecting to fully get punched in the face or smited. Who knows?
As you should.
I know how to use those now.
I walk over and I say, I'm sorry for what you thought I did, and then I explain what I explain what happened just now with Departos. And I wanted to ask Lysander to think back on if there was anything that happened when they casted their spells. What did they feel?
Every time I worshipped, every time I prayed, every time I called out or called to him, he was
Okay.
there.
She.
I don't know if you're even out. Did you follow him out? Or are you standing in the doorway just going, she, her?
I said I wanted to come and check on you, and this is what
Okay, I was like, that's equally as petulant if you were standing in the doorway going, you're wrong.
I mean,
I
honestly,
told her you're like her, she.
Both are very correct for Departo, so I was just making sure.
As soon
Devin
as
does that all the time.
Departos says she, I say, your Sylvanas is she.
Yes.
There's just like layers of like background commentary here. Every time I called out and worshipped Sylvanas, he was there, but there was more. There was I felt his presence, but there was a separate part of him that was there. Ian. No, it's great.
I look at Departos, I pull out a new glass, pour him a beer, and say, "Please go sit down. I need this. Like I need to get to the bottom of this.
Do I sit down here or do I sit down over there?
It's
Because-
basically
way.
you're basically
I need you in here, yeah.
an already
point
like
back
pissed
inside.
off cat getting more angry, just like slowly bristling more and more each time.
Soup, watching everything that's happening, runs out and goes, Departos, it's terrible. Phil's dead. We need you inside, like right now.
God
It's
fucking
fucking
damn
awful.
it,
We
you all
need to-
owe me diamonds.
We wrote
Like,
Soup into the book. It's bad. And he like looks over at Tumult and does this. And then like runs back inside and like slams the door to the tower behind him.
I'm rolling insight.
Go for it.
Okay. 8. Great. I
Oh,
take my tankard
no.
of beer. I look at Soup. I look at Tumult. I look at Lysander. I say to Lysander, her, and I trundle back inside, yelling, "You all owe me more diamonds."
You get inside. I'm just gonna resolve this real quick.
Okay.
You get inside, and you see Phil just like lean up against the wall, and Soup is like plastered himself against the now shut door, like.
Oh yeah, he dead asleep. Yeah.
You got it. That was a good joke.
I chug the beer.
I'm assuming I'm
Lysander,
still
have your
inside.
character moment.
Oh no, we left Tempard inside with Zephyros in the book.
I was still inside.
Have your
Any
character moment. I'm going pee.
anytime I felt him, there was more to him. There was an additional presence. And now when I tried to reach out and pray to him, that spare presence who came and finished or sat with him through any of this is now gone. There's a part of him now separate. I don't know if he is weaker. I don't know if he is different, but he is different, clearly. He has changed, but I do not know how, but I know that part is now gone.
I think I weakened the total amount of power Sylvanas can put into one spell.
You have separated Sylvanas from themselves.
Yes, so there was 2 entities technically that you both believed in, but they were really one, so they were always working together by the sound of this.
And now you have separated them.
I changed
eternally.
history. I changed history, and they were always separate. They were never together.
Or they are separate now. Because I have these memories, right,
They were
Alex?
separate.
So from this point on, they are now separated as they were in the battle against the Traveler. They are now these separate beings. They still do good, but at what cost have you done to my god, to Bartos' god, to every worshipper of Sylvanas? Those who do not worship these separate parts, those who worship the being as a whole, where is their power now?
I don't think anything changed.
For me, for the Bartos, what about for my sister, for his entire clan, for any other Sylvanas worshipper who is not a Firbolg? That's a hard word to say in that accent. Firbolg.
We would need to ask them.
Well, I don't have a spell to talk to my god directly. I could probably do it.
Not
through prayer.
necessarily your god. We could talk to anyone that worships your god.
I suppose I could write home. I mean, they all also worship the style of Sylvanas that I do, obviously. I
Almost
was
say
raised in that
Tepartos.
faith. I did.
I mean-
The style of Tepartos.
I'm sure.
Tepartos is everything.
I'm sure Zephyros has a way to maybe contact somebody that he has met in his travels that worship Sylvanas and would have thought differently.
On the subject of Zephyros, we jump back inside.
Oh boy.
yeah.
We left the children unattended with a very frazzled Tepartos babysitter.
To be fair, I told him not to.
It's true. I don't know. Anuk is
Garagak's chilling somewhere.
Anuk is sometimes like, let's fucking go, and Garagak is 100% team, let's fucking go. So, it's a 50-50. I think Anuk does understand the gravity of this book at this point, seeing a dead Ivan reappear.
Zephyros is looking.
I have one more diamond.
Zephyros is looking Tempard in the eyes and goes, "What exactly would you like me to write in this book?"
Oh god.
Ivan pings Tempa to the path.
I thought you had 2 diamonds,
read after me.
Bartos.
He used one on Ivan.
I used one.
Yeah, I thought he had 3 before.
Oh,
he
no,
went
no,
down.
no.
Yeah, I used another one on someone else.
Oh, sorry, not
I
Ivan.
forget.
Yeah,
who.
you-
Uh,
on
Soup.
soup that didn't fucking matter.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
he was brought back. It didn't matter that we
He was
tried to
brought back,
revivify
but
him.
I still wasted the diamond.
We do have clumps of Soup's hair now, though, in
We
case
do.
we ever need it.
Soup,
We need to
Soup's
cut
like,
off pieces of
glad
all of
that-
us and give
I'm
them to
glad
everybody
that-
else.
That 200 or 300 pieces worth
I
of
wanna be a
diamonds is more important to you than my life, which could have
I was a
You-
cat.
inevitably.
It
You
wasn't
know
the
that was
accent, it
not
didn't
what they
count.
said, Soup.
I'm just saying. I know where your priorities lie.
Princess
fine.
Pony.
That's right, Princess Pony.
A, that was coming from Ian. B, fuck you.
Stop guilt tripping your holy men.
Literally never.
Stop guilt tripping to Partos. Anyway.
So Tempard, what is being written in the book? Your exact words will be written down.
You pay me to repeat after you, so what do you say?
Cool. Tempard's parents are here. Right now. And Ivan, right here, right now, is a kitty for 1 minute.
Oh, God damn it.
You didn't put any contingency plans for Tempard's moms?
Well, I mean, I said right here, right now, didn't I?
Not safe? Not alive?
Yeah, sure. No, yeah,
To be
sure,
fair,
it's
that was
okay.
not included in Tempard's original writing, so that's,
Tempard
I
just
mean,
has
it was
one
So-
diamond.
And
One.
So
Ivan wasn't dead whenever he
One.
went to be a kitty the first time, so he wouldn't have thought of that, I guess? No? Right? Maybe, I don't know.
It's your
That's okay.
character, how do I know?
That's fine, that's good.
the statement as said is written in the book.
I am so stressed
I
out.
swear to God.
Ivan,
I'm trying so hard.
Back-
I've already thrown my hands up in the air.
You deserve it.
there's never been a more justified time to do the hand and walk. Ivan, you feel your body start to condense.
God damn it.
It's not a fun feeling. You feel your body shrink. You feel the bones inside of your body shatter as they are being pulled down into this smaller form.
Ivan would like screech and groan as this is happening out loud.
You
If I hear him yowling, I come running inside.
you will, but let me finish this. You feel every bone in your body cracking and breaking as they're trying to reform into this smaller form.
Mhm.
You experience probably the worst pain you felt in your entire life. This hurts way worse than getting eaten by the giant.
Oh no!
So much pain that you roll me a Constitution saving throw. Who did we lose? Ian.
He should be back momentarily, hopefully.
Oh, 18 plus 1, so 19 total?
You barely managed to retain consciousness due to the sheer shock of this pain, but you turn into a small black cat.
I cast Speak with Animals.
So,
And like, respond, like, do I maintain like my intelligence and wisdom and all that stuff? Like, do I know
Nope.
how to speak still?
Nope, you're a cat.
Oh, sweet. So just
It's
as a
only a
cat.
minute.
Now there's two
You
things
didn't
written to
say
save
for
it.
a minute, did you?
He did.
Yeah,
Okay.
for a minute.
Tempart. You write, or have written in the book, Tempard's moms are here.
Wait now.
And nothing happens.
Okay. It's broken.
I look at Zephyros right now and ask him if he felt magic.
You're outside, bitch.
Well, we heard Ivan
right
screaming as
in
he
this
turned into a
in this
cat.
exact moment, you are outside. So bear with me. You guys still have to make your way back into the tower before you can interact.
Yeah, it takes more than that second for us to run inside.
The first thing that happens, Anuk, you cast Speak with Animals, and there is now Ivan the cat.
Oh yeah, how'd that feel for you? Yeah,
Ivan,
you should learn your lesson.
you have
Ivan
none
looks
of your memories. You have none of your intellect. You are a cat that is now in this giant tower with all of these people that are 8-9 feet tall surrounding you.
Ivan
But you can
Very-
understand me.
But you can now understand Anuk.
Ivan very confusingly and overwhelmed with like this new environment and like not knowing where they are. Just goes with like pure cat instincts and like panics. Tail like it drops between the legs and like that scared like between the leg motion and like looks around for any kind of like window or exit or something to like hide behind or like get outside.
You do that.
Hey there, little kitty. I grumpy, but you come here. I take care of you.
Anuk, roll an animal handling check.
Please stop Ivan from running away.
Nobody open the door. Nobody open the door.
I wonder how fast Evan can go. Someone open the door. He's like,
Animal
I'm gonna come back
handling.
inside. I'm gonna run out the door.
I should be good at this. Yeah, 15.
You feel more calm. You
Okay.
don't necessarily feel like jump up into Anuk's arms and let him pet you, but you definitely
Here,
don't
kitty,
feel this.
kitty, pss, pss, pss. Come here, kitty. Pss, pss, pss.
Ivan looks up at Anuk and like the tail momentarily like props up and like wags a tiny bit. But then as anyone else makes any kind of sudden movement, the tail like drops again and like panically Ivan like runs towards a corner or like a
Now,
table.
if you think words, I can actually speak with you and understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, where am I? What is this?
It's
Scared
okay, kitty.
outside.
You're a good kitty. Come here. I take care of you. We'll get you some fish or something. Yeah, I take care of you.
Food, fish, food.
Food, yeah.
At this point, the door opens as Lysander and Tumult come barging in.
I heard screaming. What happened?
Not to
Uh-oh.
break your heart, darling. Cats don't know what words are.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So
But I
like,
think if you can speak with animals,
speak
they
with
do.
animals.
Okay.
Speak with animals.
Like-
Let you.
He wasn't
communicate
speaking
back
in
and forth.
human. He was speaking in cat.
Oh,
His
okay.
cat.
I think like what's the same as like the telepathy. Like as long as you know one language, like you're good. Kind of. Like you can understand basic utterances.
Okay.
Basically, what happens is Lysander slams this door open. Is like, what happened? What? I heard screaming. What is going on?
So as the door slams open,
Psst, psst, psst. Come here, kitty. Yeah, come here. I got you the food, and I got some warm places, and maybe some mice to chase.
yeah. So as the door slams open, like Ivan's very like interested in like a nook and like food.
Yeah.
Like,
You
Yeah,
come
but
here.
like-
I'll take care of you.
and
I keep you safe from these big guys.
and as they're slowly approaching, the tail kind of rises and kind of does a little wave, and
I give you good scritchings.
about 5 feet away, the door slams open, and Ivan just panics, and now seeing an exit, dashes towards the exit. Well, you know, Lysander comes inside.
Why would you
Lysander
dash
and
towards the
Tumble.
giant that just slammed a door?
There is a cat sprinting towards your feet. Do you stop it or do you just let it run through?
I cast animal friendship using the ring of animal, the animal ring I have on.
You cast animal friendship. Lysander, do you take any movement to stop?
I don't think I'm still assessing the. I heard screaming, and then I just see people squatting. So like, I'm assuming this is a split-second thing. I don't think I'd go to stop a cat because I don't think I'd notice a cat running at me per se.
Ivan, you make it out the door.
Okay, with the animal friendship, like, what does that do? Like,
It gives him advantage on checks when he's trying to do anything with animals.
No, when an animal friendship, the spell lets you convince a beast I mean it no harm. The beast has to see and hear me. If it's 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me for the spell's duration.
Ah,
If someone harms it, the spell ends.
what's a cat's wisdom?
I'll
Zero?
tell you in just a
0.
second.
Right here. Alright, so if I pass this wisdom save, let's say Ivan will like hide behind Tumult. If I fail it, then Ivan just bolts out the door. But what's a cat's wisdom?
Wisdom is 12 plus 1.
No, if you
Ooh.
fail,
yeah, those are backwards. If you succeed, you will not be charmed, so you will sprint outside.
Oh,
If you
okay.
succeed, you will hide.
Intelligence of 3.
So Ivan's a cat now, yeah.
Intelligence
Ivan's a
3,
cat.
So,
Yeah, so I rolled a 15 on the die.
Great.
Cat.
Just great.
he gets out.
You sprint out the door.
At this
yeah,
point, I'm so frustrated and angry, I animal shape into a dog and chase the damn cat.
So basically, he was calm, and then Lysander heard screaming of
Yeah.
him changing into a cat because it was extremely painful to turn into a cat.
I
So
can only
like
imagine.
Lysander slammed the doors open, the cat panicked and ran outside.
And now
So is
I'm
this cat
also
about to run
running
off the
outside.
clouds and fall to its death?
We're not like on a cliff. We're in like an open
We
field.
haven't
You're not in
taken
the air.
off.
You haven't taken off anywhere. You haven't
Oh.
given him a destination to start flying
Hmm,
towards.
we're
so
still on the ground.
So, I don't know
So-
if anybody else remembers this. When we were going to the mountain, I summoned my giant owl.
you
Mhm.
did
Oh
that.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, and
How
I
long
just
did those
kind of had it sit it until it dies or the next dawn. So,
Okay. Yeah, it hasn't been a.
so it's still there.
How long has it been?
I cast it.
No, I
before
mean,
it went into the cave.
since Ivan has turned into a cat. How long has it been?
Oh, we're getting close to the time.
Okay.
So Anuk, you turned into a dog. We lost Ian again. you sprint out after the cat. You run for about 15 or so more seconds, and then Ivan, mid-sprint, you turn back. You feel, again, this like mind-shattering pain as your bones crack and expand out in a rapid fashion to reform your humanoid-esque shape as you roll and tumble. I need you to make one more Constitution saving throw for me.
15 plus
One.
1. Yeah, 16. Not as high as last time, but
You're fine. You roll out, and you're in a lot of pain. Your body's sore, but you're Ivan again.
ow. So like I'll like roll out and tumble and like
What
You
just
cannot fix it.
happened?
I'll plow into him as a dog, and then I'll change back to a Nook.
Perfect.
I'll ask Anouk, what happened? Where are we? What
You
just
got your
happened?
wish. How do you feel? Yeah.
I feel very bad. Everything hurts.
I pick him up by the scruff. I start walking him back. It
Seeing
don't
this
feel so
happen-
good when you change shape all the time now, does it?
No.
You
So-
gotta be careful what you wish for, yeah?
How
Yeah,
how
yeah.
far did you run?
Yeah, how far are we?
Not far, like maybe 60 feet. Like you're
Okay.
not far at all.
I was like, do I need to send him now?
Seeing as that just happened, I was like, well, I'm glad I made the right choice in that. I assumed it was Ivan writing himself in as a cat again. Except this time here. And I kind of look at Zephyros for confirmation. Did he put himself as a cat here?
Technically, no. He just asked me to write it, and I wrote it down.
Well, I mean, yes, but so he did say here, right?
Correct.
And the whole time walking back, I've got a hold of him, and I'm just shaking my finger as I'm reading him the riot act as we're walking back.
Evan's tail is like between his legs, the same fashion as like the cat was when he was like scared and
Wait, Anouk, how
Um,
tall are you?
8 foot.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. You're a good 2 feet bigger than him.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Anouk, did you speak with him at all? Like, what was going
He
on?
didn't
before
talk
we-
back to me, but I talked with him, and I could tell he could understand me.
For a minute, I was like, Ivan was like coming like friendly, but like with the whole situation, I feel like he'd just been like super panicky, you know, like
Um,
not knowing exactly where he's at, like being inside a bunch of tall people. Yeah. That's the
Ivan,
stuff.
what do you remember about being a cat?
I remember almost nothing. Like I remember vaguely being smaller than what I was. I kind of remember like seeing small paws, but like I just kind of remember a lot of pain, shrinking down, and then kind of reverting to my own self. I don't remember much of being an actual cat.
Did he actually take any physical damage in the shape changing?
No.
Okay. So I don't have to throw another heal into him.
Nah, he should be fine.
Okay, so in theory, what I take from this is him just asking to become a cat now does not mean that the cat he becomes is still the Ivan that stands here with magic powers.
I hold him up
What
a little
else?
higher. Next time, why don't you let me do it, yeah?
What else
So-
was written in the book?
Nods.
Was it just that? Did
and
we
I go back
try
and ask, I
Ivan
was like,
but
what
again?
else did they write in the book?
Well,
Or did
He
you
wrote
write the book?
As you guys are standing here having this conversation,
did you not hear everything that we said?
We were outside.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
the door open. Most of you guys standing in the doorway, you see almost instantaneously a massive storm cloud forms above you. Lightning starts to crack, hitting trees surrounding you.
I
The
didn't do
mountain-
this one.
The mountain outside that you had been watching that has this large crag starts to spout lava out of this crag that starts to push up and out and starts to flow vaguely down.
Oh, that's not me.
You
God damn.
glance around, take in your surroundings. You glance backwards, and you see that Zephyros has returned to his original size, and his eyes are sparking with this lightning that he uses whenever he has his magic. He looks at you all, and he says, "I remember everything."
Oh, yeah? What you remember?
And with that, we are going to end tonight's session. As Zach has to hop off, Ian is having internet issues. It seems like a very valid stopping point for the evening.
I like it.
I'm gonna put it out there before we go to Krista. Not my fault.
Oh, I will fight that man with fisticuffs. I'll
He
drive.
dipped. He said
Oh,
it and
he
dipped.
totally
He
did.
Oh,
He doesn't know about our
Oh, no.
closing. He doesn't know how
he
to.
doesn't
He's not
actually.
here.
We haven't done that since then.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Ian won't. Or yeah, Ian's not gonna.
Oh,
be
he's
able to
gonna
do it
try.
either.
He's trying to rejoin.
Okay.
Oh,
Up there.
maybe.
Am I back?
You
Wait.
are
Yeah,
back.
we
You're
can hear
back.
Yay! I'm so sorry. My internet.
So who's gonna fill you in on what just happened?
I would love to hear.
I can because I'm in the
What
process
was
of
the
writing
last
it down.
thing you
I gotta hear.
heard?
Would you like to see?
Pretty much like Ivan's a kitty and Anouk is turning into a dog to chase him out the front door.
Okay.
So
Fun.
Ivan, all cat, ran outside.
Yeah.
Anouk turned into dog, ran outside after him.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I just want to make
Yep.
sure everything's good on your end.
No, we're good. My roommate found the quill that I.
Oh, that you threw?
and,
You're like, why is this on the ground?
she was confused.
Valid.
Anyway.
And then Ivan painfully again turned back into Ivan.
Oh, great.
Anouk bashed into him as a dog and then scooped him up and basically ripped him a new one of like, how dare you? You know better. And then like took him back inside. And then in those last moments when he was back inside, we saw a hideous, heinous storm forming around us, lightning crashing. The mountain that has split where we got the shield of Sylvanas is
Volcano
erupting with magma spewing out of it, and we all look back. Zephyros is back to his full size, eyes whited over as he normally does when casting, and in the most ominous voice ever, he says,
I remember everything. And that's what we're going to call it for the evening.
and then Zach said, one thing, not my fault, and then left the call.
And then dipped. But I feel like it's an important thing to put on during the recording is our wrap-up for the evening. Because if people do end up watching this, it could be a cool positivity boosting thing that they pull for their own stuff, which would be great. So,
oh my god.
Krista, you're the most familiar with it. Why don't you go and start us off here?
Do we want to explain it? Like a quick TLDR?
Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, I can as well, but...
Let me have my DM moment.
Yeah, it's your campaign. That's
I'm in charge here. It doesn't seem like it, but I am. So essentially, this is a positivity boosting thing that you can do at the end of any role-playing session, any game night, anything, because all of us very much so understand that sometimes the world gets hard, and especially with this campaign, as you'll see more as we're progressing, and more with the sort of TLDR of the campaign as a whole that I'll post after. This tensions get high, emotions can get hard. So this is a good thing you can do to help kind of build that positivity and remember why you're here and why you're playing and notice some of the good that's come out of the session. So essentially how this is going to work is we are going to go around and we are going to, everyone is going to list off one thing that they felt that someone else did very well during the session. It could be a bit of role play. It could be like a really solid like battle strategy. Obviously we didn't do any combat this evening, but in the future it'll happen. But just one good thing they think somebody else did, and then they're going to say one good thing that they felt that they did. It is just a way to make sure that you are both looking at the positivity of others and making sure you're boosting yourself a little bit at the end of the night as well. So Krista, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah. Wow. This was a fucking roller coaster. A good thing I did, I think in spite of everything, I stayed very true to my character. I reacted as Lysander would. I got genuinely, at me as a person, Krista got angry there for a little bit. I was mad. But
it wasn't at me this time.
No, for the first time in a few
Never
sessions,
happened.
it wasn't at Departos. But no, I stayed very good and true to Lysander and what he'd do. And yeah. For others, I just I love Ivan so much. He's a little shit. But the combination of no, I didn't know he was a chaos god. What are you talking about? You don't know he's a chaos god. Paired with I'm gonna try being a cat. Cool, I got eaten to death. How about I try being a cat, but again? It's just, I love this big dumb tiefling cat. He's a delight.
Finally
Oh,
see the cat.
Love it so much.
oh.
Coda!
Oh my god.
Coda, baby! I know the roleplay sessions are harder for you, but
Yeah.
I can think of one very, very good thing in my mind that you did that I loved so much.
I'm not sure what it was, to be completely honest.
That's
I
fair.
didn't do a lot.
For clarification's sake, for those of you watching at home, Coda very much so is the type of barbarian player that is like, when combat happens, he will go and he will fuck shit up in the most creative ways possible.
That's amazing.
And then when the roleplay happens, especially when it's like gods and deities and all these other crazy things, like his character doesn't really buy into all of that stuff. So it's
Yeah, I don't really
time
have
that
a
he
religion.
shines. Yeah,
But is proficient in religion.
yeah.
Yep,
I am
it's
proficient.
great. It is delightful.
So Coda, you can come up with something that you did, I'm sure.
I tried to restore the coin that I collected the dust for, but we didn't get that far, so I don't know if I did good or not.
That is clever, though, to be like, just fix it.
Yeah. Well, I figured like when you use it and then it turned to dust, I was thinking like Gargak would be like, my friend just broke her toy. So he'd like come over and like, scoop it up. Be like, I'll try to fix this someday.
Yeah, I didn't give Garagak any background or character, yet has all this stupid, like, insane nuance of just like, this is how Garagak would react.
Yeah.
Toy is broken.
I really should have made a backstory.
There's still time. I'm still writing Lysanders.
That's
You
fair.
don't have to. You could just be like, here's the TLDR if he was of the clan and now he's not and he likes his friends, and that's great.
Yeah, that's pretty much where he's at.
That's your
It's
video
working so well.
for the backstory. This is like 15 seconds long. Whereas
Yeah.
like I have the history of the entire Temp clan.
Right.
Yeet.
What is something good somebody else did? Unless I just like absolutely zoned out and didn't hear it.
Even though it was really bad play, it was hilarious when Tumult wrote what he did in the book. I was like,
Right.
oh god, no. Especially because in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, this is Death Note. It just screams
I had to
Death
sit.
Note.
I had to sit. I was like, how am I going to process this? So I was like, okay, hold on. I'm going to think.
Do you know,
I'm going to take a very large swig of this here beverage that I'm drinking.
Alex, do you as a DM like 100% know the logic of this? Because you were handed these. No, these ones you did make.
These ones I
He
made. So
made.
these ones I know
These are
exactly how
yours.
they work.
Okay, never mind.
And while I said earlier that I was not prepared for this, I am constantly prepared for you guys to do the most outrageous things possible. So
That drives me absolutely insane.
your boy is wholly ready for what just happened.
We can't outsmart Alex. It's
Never,
impossible.
ever going to
no.
happen. I issue that challenge widely. If you think you can, by all means try.
No.
Devin is like, motherfucker, see here. But yeah, no, I agree. That was a very good play. Let's see.
I'm so mad.
Jay, why don't you take a spin? Take a rip of the old positivity building.
I like that I stay in character very well, and Tempart's just fucking dumb. I love him so dearly.
Wisdom thumbs up.
Like Wisdom Dumpstat was the best choice I've ever made in character building. And I just really love that, like, the moment you were turned into a cat and you realized you didn't actually have Ivan's memories or anything like that, you were just like, what would my cat do? Concept.
What would Parker do?
So I do have to add the one thing that got added into our group chat of Tumult's clarification. The reason why I said not my fault, in Tumult's mind, the lava that is destroying nature right now, I don't think was my doing when I separated Sylvanas into two beings, because they are genuinely scared that he's about to get smited. They're basically like, lava's not my fault, goodbye.
Oh man, I love it. It's so good. Fucking Ian disappeared again. Devin, why don't you take us for a ride here?
I just really love like how this campaign, like roleplay wise, is coming along. Like everyone is like just sticking to the characters, and it's so satisfying. I've only ever been in like combat heavy campaigns and like Adventure League stuff, and it's just really nice to have like an actual storyline to go along with like the storyline. like I guess along that note, I've been just really wanting to be a cat. I really like just playing like role playing that, like staying true to like when I'm a cat, I'm a cat. Like do cat things and do I really do. I know Gary already said this, but like I really like how Tumult just like absentmindedly just wrote in the journal, like wrote in with the quill in that old book. The Sylvanas thing. Like that was just so in character. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome.
Yeah, but the book is broken. Didn't bring back my parents.
And he won't hear any of this praise from singing to his character for the time period until this gets posted somewhere for him to watch later.
We should probably let him know this is a thing we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
I-
missed a few
he's-
sessions.
Well, and he's dealing with family stuff too.
Yeah,
so I
totally.
get it.
Yeah.
Just for
Ian.
future so he doesn't dip immediately.
Yeah.
We're gonna
we
hit
should
you just before you disappear again.
I am so
Uh,
sorry. I
it's
will do
fine.
everything I can to get my internet fixed by next time.
Technology is really hard, man. You're good.
Yeah, I'm real bad at it. Anyway, good things. Other people. I like Coda. I want to call you out because you just. It's amazing how I know that you're not, your favorite thing and the thing that you're comfortable with isn't necessarily these really role play heavy sessions. And I appreciate that. And both
Right.
as a person, I appreciate you so much for still being active, engaged, and listening in these things all the time. Because I've absolutely been that player before where it's like, oh, this thing that's going on, I'm not about it. I don't really feel like being a part of this. And I just zone out. And it's so obvious that you don't do that. You pay attention the whole time and you still make really in character decisions that are so spot on the entire time that you're doing this. You'll go like 2 hours without saying anything, and then all of a sudden you're like just toss in a roll. It's just like, oh yeah, I remember that in my like barbarian training where fucking I know absolutely everything because I can't roll anything less than a 25 because I'm absolutely ludicrous because I'm choking on a fingernail. We're good. But it's just your attention, your simplicity, your nuance, and everything that you do. I am astounded by you every session. This session is absolutely no exception. Just, I can't applaud you more. I love it. Especially
Thanks,
your
man.
little bit in there with the coin with Zephyros of just like, that was like 10 sessions ago where it was like, you only have one of these, none else. They're gone. And you're just like, I got it.
Yeah.
Bring it back. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? It was brilliant. So like, good on you, man.
Awesome. Thank
And
you.
then, of course. And for myself, that's harder. I think outside of the constant, trap of yay, me and my character, which I've kind of been patting myself on the back from, I'm kind of glad I took a little bit more of a step back from this session because I know I can be a bit of an overbearing presence from time to time. And I know I probably was in a big portion this time, but I'm glad that other people got their time to shine, their time to figure stuff out, and their time to, go and talk and dialogue with this NPC that's been so incredibly important. I know part of that was because I was having internet connectivity issues half the time, but I'm glad that I took a step back, recognized that a lot of my story that I needed up until this point had been told, and was able to give other people their moment to shine. And I look forward to doing that more because you guys are all phenomenal players, and I look forward more to learning more about you, what you want, the crazy shit that you can get up to. And it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you for raising me.
You got one more, bud. After that, I can't do anything.
Also, to be fair, after Tumult kind of wrote in the book, this was kind of a session directly impacted on you. So if you didn't jump in and say anything, it would kind of be weird. Like, you kind of almost killed your god.
Yeah, we had a crisis. We're
Yeah,
still not.
like,
I'm still not 100% sure what the impact of this is.
Oh no, we
Right.
still have a very big problem on our hands. We'll be dealing with this for a while. Anyway,
I didn't have religious trauma before this. I do now.
absolutely.
Oh man, this could be super weird. Rob,
We have Firo still, yeah.
yeah. For those of you at home, those of us that knew Rob before this campaign met him at a LARP group we're a part of, and his LARP name is Hero. So that is just his name now. So
That's how I
we
know
refer to Hero while we're talking. We're talking about Rob. So Hero, what did you? What about you?
I'm going to start with the things other people did that I enjoyed, and that's going to go to Devin because his dedication to the cat was amazing, and I love it, and it gave me a chance to have the cartoon moment where the dog and cat chasing each other around. I love that. Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, it totally makes sense that the druid just got frustrated, threw his hands up in the air, and chased the cat as a dog.
A Nook has a long fuse, but we burn it very quickly.
We really do.
The thing that I liked about how I was playing tonight, because of the intellect of ours and being a little bit lower on intelligence than normal, and I know people couldn't see the rolls that we were making, but I was actually rolling intelligence checks to see if I had ideas. And I rolled really well on several of them, and then there was the one that was just so that was kind of a fun little thing for me to do tonight, and I had a lot of fun just rolling with it. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. I've been looking back up and down on my phone, which I know is like bad manners for these kinds of things. But we were talking to Zach because he had to dip because he's dealing with some personal stuff right now. But he wanted to throw out that he thought it was super cool that all of the like personal items that people were throwing into the book itself, the Templar being like, no, right into this book right now that my moms are here. I want to know what this is going to do. Ivan repeatedly, I want to be a cat. Make me a cat now, please. All those little things he really appreciated. And also as far as himself, he thought that he played his character extremely well when he was doing things like digging deep, and he was how he kept like trying to figure out what the pieces of the book were, and all of the stuff.
Yeah.
All of the stuff that was going on with like what happened to Sylvanas, what is going on with this, what's happening.
I agree.
It was super cool stuff. So we
Like
want to make sure he gets his positivity boost too, because he did stick really truly to his character.
You did.
Now I'm the only person left, and I do it a little bit differently than everybody else because I'm the DM. I have all of these other little things that are going on in my head. I'm keeping track of a million things at once. But I will still say something good about myself, but I try to go through the list of all of our players and say something cool that they did so that they know that I'm paying attention to all the stuff that they do and I'm really keeping track. Because my players are the best part of this. I'm just a person here to facilitate the story that they're telling. I'm just gonna go down my list here on Zoom. I don't know if the screen's the same for everybody else. I don't think it is, but I'm just gonna go down that list. Hero, my dude. Your reactions to things are my favorite. I think I've said this almost every week for you, but you continue to do it and do it so well that I think it's amazing. Anuk as a character is just a super creative concept that I really enjoy, and you the fact that you go and you've built this in your character, your signature move. I think I called it your signature move, or like your ultimate move earlier, which just like I throw my hands up and I walk away. Like I love that so much. But then when things get serious, when things get heavy, and it's not those little interactions that you're just being frustrated with, you're there. For example, earlier when the book thing started happening, you coming back down and being there for the interaction, things like that. I really appreciate you as a player for that. So very well done. I mean, cursed, you play your character so extremely well. Reacting in time to every little detail that comes up, reacting as your character would in those little moments. It's mind-boggling how well you can do those things. It's something that a lot of people struggle with, especially in like D&D or other role play formats, that it's those split-second reactions to the things that are happening. Hey, my God, my shield that I just got literally last session just split in half. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think it's been 10 minutes
Yeah.
About yeah.
Maybe
like,
a half hour since I got the shiny
in game
toy.
time, it's been less than an hour since you got this shiny new shield, and it already has this giant crack down the middle. But it's, I'm in all of you every time we play. Your both your vocal interactions where you're role playing a character, but like your physical interactions as everything is going on. When something would be shocking both to you as a player and to light, like your eyes light up, you get these wide eyes, the gasp when there's things gasp-worthy happening, all this thing. I absolutely adore it. Doing a wonderful job. Coda, baby, my dude. Nobody said the thing that I really loved, and I think that fit Garagak to a T, was like this big standout thing for me, was this total pull of, did I end up with the lawn chair?
Yeah.
I had made this religion check. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull a granddad at the beach. Let me set out this lawn chair and tell you a story. Because it wasn't just those quick, like, usual D&D player things where it's like, I relay that information to the party. You were like, no, let me do this how Garagak would do this. And like whipped out the lawn chair, did this whole thing. And I know role play isn't your strong suit, especially when it gets into like the things that you're not as familiar with,
Right.
like being like the D&D gods and all of those things. But you're still doing a great job. And I think it was Ian that mentioned it earlier, but like your attention to focus, even if it's not something that you're truly involved with, the fact that you are here, you are present, you are paying attention to everything that's going on. I cannot think of a single time since we started playing that I've had to be like, hey, Coda, and you're like, wait, what's going on? What did I miss? What's happening? You're invested in this. And that is the best thing for me as a DM, and I'm sure to the other players, that the fact that even if it's not something your character is truly involved in, you as a player are still paying attention, keeping tabs on what's going on. So I highest of praise for that. Jay, my dear sweet temp bard. The
next in line to become the traveler.
The dedication to I don't give a rat's ass what happens to the rest of the world. I have this book that writes things into existence. Get me my moms. I want my moms. I want them now. I don't care what the consequences are. Fuck that. Fuck you. I want this now, and I want it to happen. And then when you're rolling history checks about this world lore and everything else, you're like, I don't really care about the rest of the world. I just want to know how this directly pertains to me and what I want to know. Man, I just love it, and how your characterizations are. Temp art as a concept. When you sent me your backstory, I was like, I'm never going to make this happen. This is bullshit. It's all bullshit, and I don't know how I'm going to have this be interactable in any way, and you have changed my mind 110% in that moment. You play along so well, you interact so well, and I absolutely adore you as a player. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I'm crying. That made me really happy.
Ivan, the bane of my goddamn existence. Devin, you...
The two people on the screen. I love you, and go fuck yourself.
You absolute piece of garbage human that I love so very much.
The two genders.
Also, for those who are watching, the only person when I said nobody can outsmart me, and I will put that challenge out, who went, actually, sir, allow me to take this challenge. You're again, man, and I'm saying this for everybody, but everybody's doing a really good job for it. Your dedication to your freaking character is phenomenal. I put you through death. I put you through excruciating amounts of pain, and you went, but no, I want this to happen. So make it happen.
What if his main goal?
One more diamond.
I love it so much.
2 life goals. King of Hell, become a cat. Those two things, that's all he needs in his world.
Just one day where I don't have to cast a 4th level spell. One day. It'll happen.
Oh man, I just adore you so much, and I talk a lot of crap to you, but I feel like you know that it's all out of love, because I love who you are as a player. I love how your mind works, and it is very similar to my own. So I appreciate that. You do challenge me at literally every step as far as trying to outsmart me and what's going on. So I appreciate it, and I applaud you.
Also, it sucks. I hate.
Ian. Man, you're great. There are a few people that I have met and played. I've been playing this game or games similar to it since I was literally 4 years old. Like, I've played with probably over 100 different groups for various TTRPGs. I've ran so many games, and you are the type of player that every DM dreams of having. You have this just innate ability to read the ebb and flow of how things are going. If you feel like you're stepping too much over the conversations, you know when you hit that point and when to pull back. And if you do make a mistake, you know how to own up to it and just make those subtle shifts to fix it. Your dedication to your character, with the amount of drastic things that I've thrown on you, everything that you're doing. And then today, even when it was like, oh my God, my whole world is crashing around me. Like, I forgot this super important detail. It wasn't at least it wasn't in a serious manner, like, Alex, how the fuck dare you let me do this? It was, yeah, I messed up and I'm going to roll with it, and we're going to roll with the punches and see what happens. And I it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You make it a lot easier to play, and you make it a lot easier to do the cool things I want to do with the story by being who you are. So I appreciate you for that.
Thanks, man.
Zach, Tumult, again, you're not here to hear this, but man, dude misses like 3 or 4 sessions and rolls back in and is like, you know what I want to do? Fuck everything up. And it is the truest form to Tumult that I've seen him play yet, of just this, like, I have all this magic stuff, but more importantly, these magic items that I have in my hand are a quill and ink and a notebook, and I'm going to take notes like I always do with the thing that's in my hands. The absolute dedication to it all, and the immediate reaction, and you can see in his eyes that, like, the gears grinding, trying to figure out how this book works, because it does fit to his truer character goal, which I'm hoping and I'm hoping that he will go into in his backstory, and like the rest of you, whatever your overarching goals and all those stuff is, like, please explain those in your backstory videos. But I have to give him massive props for just sticking to his character, even when everybody was like, how the fuck dare you? He's like, no, this is what happened. I'm sorry, kind of. And it's super cool that he sticks to his character even when his character is going against the grain, so to speak. As far as myself, this is always the piece that I struggle with the most of all of these things. I don't know how to self-praise well.
That's why we do this.
Which is exactly why we do this. So I'm gonna keep doing it for all of you that may need those boosts and figure out that it's okay to praise yourself at home too. I adapted very well to everything that was going on. Coming up with the story verifications, coming up with those things. None of the stuff with the book and quill and ink was planned for today. Like, it's not like I sent people messages and was like, hey guys, put all of these god artifacts together and see what happens. It was literally spur of the moment from the players and the adaptation of it all. And I know you're not seeing a lot of it right now, but I cannot wait for next session where you guys will get to see what happened with Zephyros and figure all those things out, because I'm super excited for it. Because there's so much Zephyros backstory that I've added to this game that you guys have no idea about. That is
so nervous about it.
I'm so ready for that to happen. But yeah, my confidence in myself is my adaptability to roll with the punches as a DM and still keep my storytelling at a relatively peak level. So,
and you do that every single
time. You do. I am excited and anxious about this next session, because
I'm real scared.
Because we know the one thing that Zephyros is missing. We don't know the 300 other things he might be.
Exactly.
Be an angry god of chaos who doesn't want humans to live. That's probably not true with everything else. But there could be big shit that
but he knows about them.
God.
He's
it's gonna be
stove on. Can you believe it?
Krista, log out of my DM notes. I need you to stop reading ahead of the story. I'm just kidding. I've already admitted widely to this recording that I don't take notes and track of anything that's going on.
Yeah, he's now mad, and we just came out of combat, and we are tapped. Even with this short rest, we are still tapped.
To be fair, I got res at a full heal, so I'm goofy.
For some reason,
I cast one spell.
Did I get
to clarify, you guys did get a long rest after the temple.
Did we? Okay.
The wave of Sylvanas energy that wiped over everybody.
That's right, it did
fully refreshed you guys.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I don't think I said that as clearly as I should have, and that's on me. That's me, bad DM time, doing that shit.
Also, fun fact, I think I was full health regardless.
I was still playing.
Yeah, I was.
I was still playing as if we were tapped. So.
Yeah, I apologize. That's on me. But now, for next time, just in case, you're fighting Zephyros, the god of destruction.
But I'm still a big dumb rock. I'm still dumb.
Yeah, no, none of that got fixed. You guys are still dumb as rocks. There's only one thing that can fix that, really. So
Oh no.
enjoy that.
Greater res or not res?
Right.
Greater,
I have a
greater
wish spell.
restoration, I
You do
think.
have a wish
Also
spell.
that.
Yeah, one of those two things that was just brought up will for sure fix that. But yeah, I'm excited for next session. For those of you that have suffered through us long enough to get to this point in the episode, thank you so much. No confirmation on timelines because the world is hectic and crazy, but we'll get content out as much as we can.
And if people like this, we'll maybe keep doing it. If our players like it, we'll
If it's all up to the players and if people are actually watching, because it's gonna take some time to do like video editing and all that crap on my end too. So if nobody wants to watch it and we're putting out bad content, I'm not gonna put the effort in for that. But if people are, it's absolutely worth it to me to make sure that the story we tell together gets told.
Yep,
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we have at least, I would say, a solid 4 people in this chat that will actually sit and watch this video after it's produced.
I'll just polish my notes off of it.
It's not me.
I'm absolutely that
Thanks.
narcissistic.
It's not me. I won't. I'll just be like, I'm sure it's fine.
I'll just
You have to watch it to edit it.
Yeah, you have
right,
to edit it.
right. Yeah, I'll watch it while I'm editing, I guess.
I'll take notes so I can be a better player next time.
Perfect.
Yeah, that.
Man, that's a lot of like personal responsibility. I don't know if I got time.
But yeah, guys, for anyone who's made it this far, the world's crazy. Stay safe. Remember that love is the most important thing on the planet.
Don't forget to love each other.
Yeah.
It brought us together.
That's right. Yeah, guys, we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.